Hello, we are here with Mr. Sam Thomas.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Hello.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
super
no
stoked.
problem. Thank you for being here. Now,
So,
Sam is affiliated with Motive Direct Pictures. Now, tell us a little bit about what is Motive Direct Pictures.
we're like an art collective. We do filmmaking. Yeah, it's an art collective. That's how I would describe it. Like different people come in, kind of come and go. Everybody sort of has specialties in what they do. So mostly I do editing, cinematography. I do a lot of writing and stuff like that. Other people direct. There's lots of people that act. So yeah, it's different stuff everybody does. My brother does the website stuff mostly. He does sound for us. Yeah, man, so many people. It'd be hard to sit here and just
Yeah.
lots of them are actors. I mean, a good chunk of them act. My buddy Shake, he does special effects and does Tom. So everything's DIY, everything's self-taught. I mean, YouTube college on everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you never did schooling for any of it at all, just all self-taught, or?
Yeah, it's all self-taught. So when I was getting out of high school, I wanted to go to film school, when they're, at the end of high school, and they're like, what do you want to do with your life, so they were, on me about that, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to film school, that's what I'm going to do, and Full Sail, like everyone knows what Full Sail in Florida is, a big film school, but I wasn't super stoked on that. I wanted to go to VFS, Vancouver Film School, so I really looked into that, had every intention of going to do that, and so when I started looking into it, obviously the money is a big thing, and I don't come from the most affluent family, so and I have a twin sister, so it's two of us coming out of high school at the exact same time, and they're like, my parents are like, okay, which one of you want to do what? I'm like, I want to go to film school in Vancouver, so I love Canada.
Yeah.
I'm a hockey fan, I was super excited, to go up to Canada and live up there and learn up there, and it's a really good film school. Basically, with Full Sail, it's two best film schools in North America. At least I think. I don't know. It's been 15 years. I don't know. Maybe things have changed, but yeah. And then so they asked my sister, "What do you want to do?" She's like, I just want to go to Blackhawk and get a certificate. So they're like, okay, you go to Blackhawk, get a certificate. Sam, get your ass out and get a job. So that was kind of the end of that. I did look into Toronto Film School probably 2 years after high school. And yeah, they're just like, yeah, come on up and go to film school here, which the other film school is like, you need to go to a 4-year, do something else first before you come here. I come here about 22 and then start film school. And I had no intention of going and taking math and English, so none.
Dude, same. I can't stand that shit.
Yeah, none, dude. That was no, I want to go make art. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's dude, what the fuck I just spent 12 years in school for? I can't
hate
stand
every
it,
second
dude.
of
I
it,
know.
so.
Oh man, that's the worst. Just I'm here to do what I want to do now. I'm too stubborn for school anymore. I'm just nope, I can't do any math. I don't have any room in my brain anymore for shit I'm not gonna use. It's
for sure, dude.
I'll just be bullshitting my way through it. Fucking the answer's 5.
I feel
6.
like I would have quit after a semester. I've been like, fuck this,
Yeah.
Just partied the entire time. That would have been it. So yeah, I just bailed on it, man, and didn't really do anything for a while. I did get screenplay books and taught myself how to write proper screenplays, screenplays you would sell to Hollywood. So I did learn that. Still didn't really do anything with it. But yeah, when the technology caught up, that was kind of when I was like, okay, I can just buy my own shit and really do this. Finding partners and stuff to go in and do it with and everything like that. This is a big thing about filmmaking is just to backtrack a little, I played in hardcore bands and metal bands and stuff like that for a long time, and then I was I always wanted to make films, but like.
Was that when you were in high school?
Yeah, in high school and just right out of high school. Like I played in bands and stuff like that for years and years. Like probably 7 years, I think I played in bands. And that was like, okay, I can't go to film school, so like this is like the next best thing, you know?
Right.
But it was like really hard to keep the band going. You got 4 other people with you and everything like that, and they all got jobs, and you know, as you get older, girlfriends come in, everything just starts affecting it, you know. But it's not like you're 17 anymore and you just put all of your time into like playing in a band. And then you know, band politics come in, not necessarily within the band. We always got along really well. A lot of the people we do Mob direct with are the same people I was playing music with and stuff like that. But it was like other bands, you know, it's like there's not a lot of support for one another, you know. Everybody's trying to trample the other band and stuff like that. And I was just like really supportive of anybody, whatever they were doing. And there was like certain sounds, you know, you get bands and you got 5 bands all sound the exact same. And I was like, dude, this fucking sucks. Like, I was like, so I started making just the weirdest shit I could do, and even against what my bandmates would want to do, you know, just the weirdest kind of stuff, like really into bands like Daughters, Dillinger Escape Plan, like Converge, Zayo, like stuff like that, you know, like those were not necessarily the types of popular bands around at that time. So yeah, it was hard to get on shows and stuff like that, you know. So like, and then we started a band, like, you know, whatever, you change names and start a new sound, and I kind of gotten pretty bored with it at that point. And in this band, so it was like very like typical of like what hardcore sounded like in like 05 or 06 at the time. Like keyboards, like I played fucking keyboard in it, didn't know how to play keyboard at all, but you could push the key and hold it, you know, through like a verse or whatever. So yeah, I was doing that. I did not like the band, and the band, like, for what I did musically, like blew up. Like it was like really popular, and we're getting on shows like anywhere, always anywhere we want to go, you know, going to like Peoria and playing shows. And I was like, man, I hate this band. Like, why is this the band? Like, all the bands I played in that I loved, like, but couldn't get a show because it's just too fucking weird, you know? So, yeah, like, we're getting all these shows and stuff like that. And, like, you know, everyone knows the lyrics when you're playing and stuff like that, you know? But it's just like, this is not the band I want to play in. So, after a little while, that band sort of dissolves like they all do, and started the last one that I played in. It was just back to like playing really, really weird hardcore, really like sound of its own, stuff like that. And again, impossible to get on a show again. And like we're just breaking rules with like what was like, you know the rules of hardcore, you know, like, you know, you gotta play this, gotta break down two-step, you know. And it was like, you know, so we start doing parts where, you know, everything's in a 4 count or an 8 count, and then we change it to you know, we'd have these parts and we just play them forever, you know. We'd play them a 1 part 16 times, you know, like just weird, you know, like things you're not supposed to be doing. So that sort of fell apart, and then I was like, okay, I'm just done with this, you know, like I don't want to play this music anymore. I don't want to play in a band anymore. Everybody's on their own paths. We barely see each other. So I kind of bailed on it. And around 07, 08, I had a buddy who rapped. He was like really, really good at it. I was like super impressed by him. And he went out and just bought an entire studio. I had no idea how to actually run this studio. So, and me and him were really good friends. So he was just like, I'm gonna buy all this stuff and you're gonna run it and set it all up and get it going. I'm just gonna make the songs. You're gonna figure out how to record the songs, how to put them out, all that stuff. So, and I had a lot of experience from that, from doing the band. So I was like, cool, you know, I'm down with this. So I learned a bunch of stuff that way. And then he joined the military, so he left, literally gave me the equipment, just gave it to me and said, use this, all this stuff. So I got all the gear, and then I sort of set it up, started recording basically whoever. And then down the road, like everything, it was like everyone's coming in, like, I'm recording literally anyone who walks through the door that wants to record, I'm like, hop in, like,
right.
They're all super into Ludacris. And I'm like, I'm into like really underground hip hop, and I'm listening to like MF Doom and stuff like that. I'm like, this is what I want to do, and they're like, this is stupid. Like, this is not even rap music that you like, and so I did it for a little while, and then it got to the point where I was like, okay, I don't want to do this either. I was like, and it was always just like, I want to make music videos and stuff like that. Like, so if we have the means to get some music made, then we can make a music video and stuff like that. So a few years went by, I didn't do anything like artistically at all. It was a weird time because I'd been doing art for like over 10 years at that point, just like straight, one thing right into the next, whatever it was going to be. So, around 2013, around 2013, I really like started getting into like writing screenplays again and stuff like that. And then, I was like, man, writing screenplays is cool, but I was like, there's really no means to an end with it, like, you make music, you make it, you get to listen to it, you get to go play it, stuff like that. It's like just writing a screenplay, you write a screenplay, you hope one of your friends will read it, and that's it. And that's like, there's no seeing it or anything like that, And so
were you always like really into writing just screenplays, or did you ever consider like writing like actual stories, like an author, like books or something?
So when I was like really little, like just like a kid, like my dad even just said like recently how I would just like take a notebook and just start writing from the first page to the last page and like illustrate it, which I can't draw for shit, so it's just stupid looking. But just first page to last page would write stories. No idea, I'm literally 7-8 years old doing this. So then like I said, we just said like I hated school, didn't like it. But anytime there was like you can like write a story or whatever, like I'd be super into that and like put my all into that. It's like writing, but I would just kind of write for fun and stuff like that. But as you get older, it's like, okay, I can do more than just write. I want to, play music and stuff like that. So I didn't really do it for a while. And then until 2013, I started like writing again, and I learned the proper way to do a screenplay and stuff like that. And I just couldn't really get anything going with it. Didn't know what to do with it, especially, I never like wanted to be famous or anything like that, like I just wanted to make art. Like I always say, like if I was to get paid for art, like that's the equivalent of like winning the lottery to me. It's like the same thing, like a million to one shot. And like if that's what I could do and just quit working and like be able to afford an apartment and food stamps and like be able to write, like I would just be content, So I just really couldn't do anything with it. And so Devin, who's like me and Devin founded Motive Direct, like we co-founded it together.
Did you come up with that around 2013 then?
That would have been 2014. So like I'd been started writing about the end of 2013, and I was trying to find people to write with me, and they would be like, oh yeah, it came time to do the work, like pretty much bail on it.
Yep. So it started as mainly just you two in the beginning?
It was basically just me in the very, very beginning.
And then he jumped on?
And then, so, in 2014, I was at his house complaining. I wanted to make films. I can't make films. This is what I want to do, And he's like, yeah. I was like, I wrote some screenplays, He's like, so he comes over one night, and I said, hey, check out this screenplay I wrote. Just tell me what you think of it. So he reads it. And I don't know, it was probably like 30 pages of a screenplay. Like, it wasn't even like a full screenplay. It was like an act and starting the second, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he read it. I was like, okay, cool, see you later, you know, left. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's about my expectation of it. And he calls me the next day, Devin this is, and he says, hey, you know that screenplay? He's like, that was really good. Like, I really liked it. He's like, I was actually pretty impressed that you could even, like, correctly write a screenplay or anything. So he's like, how can we, like, get some cameras and, like, shoot some films? And so, yeah, then this was early 2014. And we didn't start shooting anything until around July. So it took a few months. I didn't know anything. Literally did not know a single thing. I didn't know anything about cameras, you know, like, because, like, you know, cameras are expensive, like thousands of dollars. Like,
right.
cameras are shooting, like, films with, and, like, independent films are 20 grand, and they're usually rented, you know. So it's like, you know, I don't know. There's no hands-on experience with it. So yeah, so I he's like, find a way to get cameras. So I was like, okay. So I watched the film that, like, changed it all. Like, I watched it was a Netflix film. I forget the name of it. It's like to the world of tomorrow, or Tomorrow World, or something like that. But so basically, the premise of it's a shitty movie. Don't go look for it. Like, they shot the movie in Disneyland, Disney World, but it's not like a Disney friendly movie. Like, it's about this, like, guy who's there with his family, and he, like, follows around these, like, teenage girls in this very, like, creepy pedophile sort of way and everything. Like, but I was like, so I'm like, how do they shoot this? You know, like, I was so, like, there's no way that Disney allowed these people to shoot this film, you know, like, there's no way. And it's all shot in Disney World, like, how? So I started looking it up, like, trying to find out anything I could find about this movie. It's super independent, so there's not a lot of information about it. So, eventually I find, like, a little article about it, and it might have been, like, a Wikipedia page or something, and they said, like, how they did it, and they had DSLR cameras, which are photography cameras. So I was like, I know, never in my life heard the term DSLR camera, didn't know what it was. So I was like, okay, well, you know, what the fuck is this? So I started looking it up. And, you know, they said, well, when they're shooting Disneyland, nobody knew they were actually shooting scenes because it just looked like they were taking pictures the whole time. And then it was so under the radar that Disney just basically didn't acknowledge that it existed. So that's how they got away with it. So, yeah, so I you know, started looking up DSLRs, YouTube, Googling, what is this, you know, I started seeing that they were, like, somewhat, affordable, and I was like, oh, you know, you can get kind of cheap ones for, like, $300, you know, like, this is the route, we found it, you know. But I'm fucking broke. I didn't have no money, you know, like, you know, $200 to my name or something, you know. So I'm telling Devin, like, you know, if we split our money on this, like, and me and Devin are, like, been friends since, like, junior high, like, very, like, best friends for a long time. So so it wasn't a lot of risk in being like, oh man, if I do this with this guy, like, I'm gonna get fucked over or something like that. You know, we're fully comfortable with, like, okay, we can do this. So yeah, we bought our first camera then in June, I think, of 2014. Didn't know how to use it, didn't know anything about it. Didn't know, like, how to get my brother, who does, like, kind of all the technical stuff for Mode, right? He got us, like, every kind of Adobe program, you know. He bought it and got us, like, every kind of Adobe program you could possibly need. You know, Premiere, After Effects, all of that stuff.
Was that back when they, like, sold it? Because now it's, like, strictly, like, the monthly subscription shit. Like,
yeah, it was before that.
Yeah, back when you could just buy it.
Yeah, and you could, and then he just got it, cracked it, and then we actually still use those cracks, so they're not even like the most updated versions of them. And then they actually cracked down on it even more, where it started popping up when you would open any Photoshop, you know, Audition, any of them. and you'd open it, and it was like, this is not a, legal version of it or whatever. And then I'm like, shit, I can't use it no more. And then he would just uninstall it and reinstall it again with the crack, so we just have everything again to go off of. But
there you go.
Yeah, he gave me everything. We didn't have computers that could run it. We had to, we just got this like computer that was like in a closet at my friend's house. So it was like an engineering computer. So we took it, stripped it, and put our stuff on there. We used that for like 6 months probably. Had to learn the camera. Had to learn every kind of technique, filmmaking wise, that you can think of. Editing, lenses, apertures, frame rates, everything, shutter speeds. So that was the start of it. It was me and Devin at the very, very start, just pretty much the two of us together. And all we wanted to do was make art films. Like, that was all we were really into. So, we just were like, we'll make these weird little 5-minute art film shorts and put them on YouTube. That'll be it. That'll be the extent of what we do with it. But at least we'll be doing art. We're making films, that look more like films. It's not. Because we had made our very first film. We made in 2005. We were seniors in high school, and me and Devin and basically my best friends, like our group of best friends, and we shot this film. Devin just had like a little camcorder, like a little $90 camcorder, and we shot this whole thing on it. And zero idea what we were doing, just like it would look like a skate video, kind of thing. Just walking around, recording it, and I just followed Devin around with the camera, because Devin, if anyone knows Devin, like he's like the big dumb animal of our group. I love that guy, so I say that was the utmost love. But so we just chased him around with this camera, and he was so fucking mad the whole time. And we recorded it, and then that was our first time like editing something back then, but it didn't look like a film at all. There was there's no story to it or structure to it or anything. It was just these little funny little bits or whatever, and probably only really funny to us, So that was the very first thing we had shot. It was like our first like even minuscule amount of experience in doing it until 2014. So it was almost a 10-year gap between doing anything with it. We shot a couple of music videos, or just garbage videos. Didn't work at all, but just give it a go.
Right.
You shoot things that never come to fruition. They never come out. Nobody ever sees it. So that was how we initially started. Just me and him together, just put our money together, got what we could, and then just built on it and built on it and built on it. Learned sound, bought zooms and bought lenses, upgraded the cameras, and then got 2 cameras, and just meeting people and stuff like that. So something that we really didn't have a lot of expectation for. Suddenly we were like doing all kinds of stuff with it. Got a composer for it. Started getting on shows with the bands and stuff like that, and we get invited on to shows and stuff like that. It was just crazy to us. Like, never in a million years thought we would ever be doing that, So.
Yes, because you said it started as just, you wanting to do movies and stuff, and you weren't able to find anyone, and then you got Devin. How long did it take, or what led to then other people jumping on board all of a sudden? Did you release something that gained attention at all, or did it just organically come together?
Basically, we released one little bullshit video. That film that we did the video we did in 2005 was called Devin Vaughn, I Do What I Want. Which is a funny catchphrase I used to always yell, I do what I want all the time. So we shot that. And then in 2014, that summer, we were still learning everything. So I met a guy. Sorry, I fucked it up. I met a guy that I just happened to work with him, and he was coming back to get some shit in order for his life. But he worked in the film industry, like really worked in the film industry. Like he has like an IMDb page with like fucking Planet of the Apes was on it, and like, you know, all of these different films. I can't even remember them now. And he was an older guy, so he kind of started showing me stuff. Like he was like, he knew I was really serious about it, and I met him the month we bought our camera. So just by chance.
How did you meet him?
I worked with him.
Oh, okay,
he just was like, he came in and like he was just like, I'm gonna work for a few months until I can get out of here and go somewhere else again. So he had Black Magic cameras, which are pretty fancy little cameras. He had Zeiss lenses, which are very, very nice, expensive lenses. He brought it over and was showing me everything, and I was like, cool, you know. He shot this little thing, like we shot this little commercial, I would call it, it was a trailer. But we knew we weren't gonna make a film, but we called it Dumb Bond 2, I Still Do What I Want. It was just a total joke. It was nothing, you know. It was like the first time I like put something into editing and like figured it out. Like, okay, this is how to do this, you know. Like, it's like I didn't have anything to edit. So, you know, like putting music into it and stuff like that. So yeah, we shot that, and that was the first little thing that came out. And then so we're like, yeah, we need to. And that guy that helped me, he left pretty quickly. He was back out of the picture. I don't think he was really interested in what we were doing. We were doing DIY, and this guy's coming from Hollywood, you know. Like, and the films he liked compared to the films we liked were nothing alike. So I should go over that real quick too. Like we are really into like art films, like weird films, the stuff that usually when you're gonna put it on, other people don't want to watch it. You know, like I grew up watching films. Like my parents used to record everything off HBO, so we'd have like the tapes with 2 movies on them, and like I pretty much had free reign to watch whatever I wanted. So I watched everything, like just everything through the 90s action films. Like, you know, that was like the golden era of it. I watched all that stuff, and then around 2000, I saw Donnie Darko for the first time, which everyone's probably like, yeah, of course, saw Donnie Darko. You know, that was like the movie that I saw. I was like, wow, you know, like where like the cinematography punched me in the face with it. You know, the soundtrack was amazing, and the story to it was just like off the fucking wall. Yeah. Like, you know, people still watch it, try to figure out what it's about. You know, it's been like 20 years almost since that came out, maybe 20 years. So yeah, that was the first movie. I was like, this is fucking awesome right here. And a couple of years before that, I went through the phase of like horror films. Like everybody, you know, most people that do films, a lot of times they make horror films and stuff like that, and something we've never actually really done. But I went to that phase of watching all kinds of horror films. You know, I wake up every Saturday, you know, flip Sci-Fi on, you know, and watch whatever horror films they had on that day.
Right.
And so I saw Night of the Living Dead, the 68 version of that, and that really blew my mind. Like when I figured out like the backstory to that film, if anyone knows it, is pretty amazing. Like the movie's not even copyrighted. That's why I see it in so many different movies, like playing on a TV in the background. Really? Like no one owns the copyright. Like
wow,
you could put a TV right here and put Night of the Living Dead on it and put it on YouTube and violate no copyright laws.
Why wasn't it copyrighted, dude?
Because it was a fucking goof, man. Like, you know, they didn't think it would be anything, so like they were basically like film school students and stuff like that. Everybody worked for free on it. The blood in it was chocolate syrup, like, you know, like this was shot in black and white on like the lowest quality of film, and like people think, oh, it's old, that's why I shot in black and white. And, like, black and white was kind of phasing out by the early 60s. That came out in the late 60s, so everything was going to like Technicolor by that point. So yeah, it is a very cheaply made movie, and I loved it when I saw it. I was like, this is great. You know, learned about it even better. Like, wow, this was a DIY film, and it blew up. Like, it really blew up. So that was kind of when I was like, oh man, this is like, I want to make films like this. So yeah, I went through that horror phase with it. And that was the early 2000s then. That's when I saw Donnie Darko. And then I knew, okay, this is the type of film I want to make. It's like this art film. Mindbenders, we've always said that's what Motive Direct makes. Mindbenders. Like, and I was like, what kind of movies you make? Comedies, horror films, zombie films. I mean, that's always what we get asked. So, guys make zombie films? Like, no. Don't make zombie films. But yeah, so we always just said Mindbenders. So basically anything that was a Mindbender from that moment on was highly influencing to us. Anything that had interesting cinematography, writing, then you start finding directors, you kind of move up, and a lot of people watch stuff by actors. I don't really care about actors in films, and I rarely watch a movie and say, oh, I'm going to go see this movie because this actor is in it. I'll watch the movie by the director. I don't care what genre it is or anything like this. If a particular director made the movie, I want to see what he made, because I know it's going to be interesting.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, I saw right after Donnie Darko then A Clockwork Orange, and then I discovered Stanley Kubrick, who is my fucking hero. Like, to this day, I love Stanley Kubrick's films. They're amazing. I mean, there's nothing that even comes close to a Stanley Kubrick movie. Like, nothing, no directors, nobody. I mean, the dude was a genius, and a lot of people probably have never seen more than like The Shining, have seen very few of his films, and he's just wonderful. You just sit and watch every single one of his movies back to the 1950s, watching his earliest stuff and seeing like how like raw he still was, but was doing like crazy stuff already. Like you just see like how this dude was gonna be big time, like big time. And he's like the first director who basically the studios left alone, like he did whatever he wanted to do and nobody stepped in, dude. No producers or anything like that stepped in, tried to like influence the film to be this way or that way. Like he was like that first guy who was like, just fucking leave him alone. Like he's going to make something brilliant, So yeah, I saw Clockwork Orange and that blew my mind. I'd seen The Shining already before that. And I seen, I think, Full Metal Jacket before that as well. And then saw 2001: A Space Odyssey, and that fucking blew my mind. That's still maybe my favorite movie of all time. I love that film. And it took me probably 3 tries to get through it, before I finally watched it. And I could pop it in right now and just watch it straight through, like, no problem. But it's slow. People have a hard time. I mean, it's hard for me. It took me a couple of tries, but once I got through it and saw the entire thing, I was like, holy fuck, what was that? Like, it was so good. Another one of my buddies brought Requiem for a Dream. That was one that blew my mind. That's Darren Aronofsky made that film. Terry Gilliam made Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Another one just blew my mind. Like, just everything, the cinematography, the writing, the directing, the music, the full package of what a film should be, the acting is like kind of at the bottom. You want it to have good acting, but a really good film can make an actor who's not really that great look pretty good. You know what I mean? So so it's just seeing all of these directors, and then just like through those years like playing music, like I would just watch movies. Anyway, I mean, I would buy VHS tapes, so that's all I could get them on like eBay for $3. Like, I would just, anything I could find, I would watch. So that was where like the art film style like really came from. And Devin was sitting there with me and all along watching these movies, and a whole gang of other people. So yeah, we really, that's where we're like, okay, this is the type of films we want to make. These films that we like, that nobody else really does, and would do them in DIY ways. And the Quad City film scene was non-existent. And no offense to anyone that might have been out there doing it at the time, but the few that I did know were doing stuff, I'm gonna take a shot at them and say, they played Hollywood, you know. Like, we don't play Hollywood, like, we make films. Like, you know, just whatever with the $10 we put into the film, like, we're gonna do our best, you know. It might show, it might not show. Hopefully it doesn't show, you know. You know, it's not music. You don't have the opportunity to go back and erase something and fix it, you know. You shot it, you gotta live with it once it's shot. There's no going back and tweaking it, you know. But, like, a lot of people just kind of played Hollywood, you know. Tried to act like maybe they're famous or something, or, you know, this was going to make them famous by doing this. Like, you know, nah. Try not to make you famous. You should just, like, really give it your all and be humble about it more than anything. So, yeah, I don't think there was much of a scene at all. I know there's a couple people that were around. Yeah, so me and Devin kicked it off from that point on. I think, July, we had we had a good idea of what the fuck we were doing, you know, which we had no idea, but a good enough idea of being like, okay, we can, like, make something. So, the first thing that we had shot, I mean, you want me to fucking drag on about all that? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
We got time.
No, not boarding you or anything.
No, not at all.
Boring you. So, yeah, we shot our first thing was Barfly. Just Barfly, long before we made the series Barfly Lounge, which Barfly is a Mickey Rourke movie as well. So we got a bunch of views on it because people thought it was a fucking Mickey Rourke film. I didn't know it was a Mickey Rourke movie called Barfly at the time we called it that. And I have a bar in my basement, so, like, we just were like, yeah, we're gonna shoot this little thing about barflies. And we're just going to edit with it. We're not going to do anything with it. It's going to be like an editing practice, essentially. So we shot it with just me and Devin, and then my buddy Shake, who basically is still doing stuff with us to this day. He came in and we're like, you know, we need somebody to shoot, so why don't you be that guy? Okay. Steps in, does it. We shoot it, barely knowing what we're doing at the time, get it done, edit it, and then we're like, hey, I kind of like this, you know, it's, like, actually not that bad, like, we, you know, and it's probably really bad, but, you know, at the moment, you know, we felt pretty good about it, so, like, let's just put it on YouTube, you know, fuck it.
Right.
And then, out where we live, like, we live in the Mercer County area, which is about 20 minutes south of the QC. But we consider ourselves QC for sure, you know. Buy our groceries in the QC, you know. So, yeah, we were just down there shooting that little barfly stuff, and people out in the area were like, hey, that was really cool, you know, stuff like that. So we shot that, and then we're gearing up to make our first film, which is called A Sinister Nature. It showed at the Muscatine Film Festival. We showed it there.
What year was that one?
That's 2014.
Okay.
So, yeah, we shot that. We didn't even have a way to record sound at the time. There's no sound in it. Everything is sound designed. Everything, all the music is royalty-free YouTube music, you know. Very early basic stuff. My best friend, Travis, was in it, who was actually moving to Florida at the time. And basically stuck it out with us just long enough to get the film done to leave. So he was fucking out of here. I was like, oh man, we gotta get this done because he's gonna leave, and then, you know, your actor leaves, your film's over. So he stuck around and helped did it. His cousin Gage hopped on and was there, who also is in Florida now. And then his girl Tamlin Tinker was a part of it.
What did she do?
She was the actress in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice,
she was the actress in it. And then her boyfriend, Jeremy, was also a part of it to some degree. You know, they just kind of extra sets of hands and stuff like that. We had built a dolly at that time out of PVC pipe, which still used to this day. Skateboard wheels and a PVC pipe. Yeah, shot with that. It was just like everything is just like DIY YouTube stuff, like anything we can like figure out how to make on the cheap we would do.
Right.
So we shot Sinister Nature. My brother did play like a role in it as like a masked person, just a mind bender, you know, like that's what it was. This weird ass film. and put that out, and like again, a lot of people were just like, hey, I'm actually like really impressed. Like, wow, you guys like, again, no idea how to do any cinematography. You're just like completely learning everything on the go, on the fly, you know. But yeah, so that came out October 2014, and that would be our very first film, like the very first motor direct film. And motive direct, so I didn't say this yet. Motive direct stands for motivation and direction. Like that's what it means, you know. Like that's what it was in that moment of like nothing going on. You know, I just go to work every day, come home. You know, I just really want to get into art again. You know, like
right.
You know, it keeps your mind sane. I'm sure you know how that goes.
Yeah,
dude.
definitely.
Like, it's just like gives you sanity to just break from the real world, which I consider that the world you have to live in to eat, and then go to the real world where you do the things you really want to do with your life, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, motivation and direction, that's what it felt like at that moment. That's where, like, we had fucked around with a few names, like, what are we gonna call it, you know? And I was just like, motive direct, you know, motivation. This is like, because when we started, it's just like our motivation was at just all-time high. Like, everybody was gung-ho 100%. Like, this is awesome. Like, we're gonna make films. Like,
yeah.
And then it gave us all, like, a direction, you know. You're just sort of meandering through life at the moment, you know. And it was like direction, like, okay, this is what we're doing, you know. So that's where the name comes from. It's a short, Mode Direct, motivation, direction. So yeah, Mode Direct, that was the first Mode Direct film, Sinister Nature. We shot a second Barfly that year as well, Barfly 2. And that was shot with Gage, who I mentioned earlier. He hopped in. And it was just really one of the things I think is one of the worst things we ever shot. Like, you know, put it out and was like pretty disappointed with it. Like, yeah, this is a piece of shit. And that moment though would lead to a big moment, like in the history of it. We meet. Well, I didn't meet him. Josh Macias, if anyone knows Josh Macias, Milky Way. I've known Josh Macias back to when we played in bands. Like, he was a drummer in a band called On the Backs of the Broken. And he played with our band regularly. So I knew Josh from way before that. And we'd been friends just this whole time. And he was like really on me about composing music for it. And, you know, he's always... We talk regularly, you know, even when he lives in Washington right now and still composes everything for us, you know. Like, he's always been a part of what we do. So Josh had been on me about, like, hey, man, let me compose the scores. And I was like, I don't know. You know, Not that I didn't have faith in him. I just was like, I don't know. I don't know how it would work. And I don't know how we would make this happen. So, I brought him a script, and I sat down with him, and he was basically like, look, this is what I can do musically. And, you know, he pulls up like Ableton, and he just goes crazy with it. And, you know, he knows exactly, like, without ever telling him like really what I wanted, he could just read the scripts and see what we'd made, and he knew like what I was going for, you know. And knowing me for a long time, he knew what kind of art I was into. So, you know, very abstract, avant-garde sort of stuff. So, yeah, he saw that script and then just played some music for me. You know, not doing it to anything. He was just playing sounds, essentially soundscapes. And I was like, oh wow, you know, really cool. So I was like, yeah, no doubt, you're gonna compose. You know, I didn't know how long you would do it, but for that moment, I was like, you're going to do the music composition for it. So we get the script together called The Great Self-Exile, which came out in April of 2015, and we shot from March into April. I think it took about 3 days to shoot it through those 2 months. And Devin was in it as an actor. Zach Evans, who did a lot of early stuff with us, was in it as an actor. Josh was in it as an actor. and probably one of the bigger crews we ever had. We'd actually shot, so we shoot short films, and then we shoot the short film series is what we call it. It's like things that are like 5 minutes and under. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, we shoot music videos and webisodes and web series and stuff like that. So before we actually shot Great Self-Exile, we shot in a thing called Pizza Rolls, and Devin had written about 3 sentences on his phone, and we knocked it out just right there. That actually came out in, I think, December. Yeah, it came out in December of 2014. So we released that, and still we didn't even have sound yet, and it was just like this little funny little thing. If you've never seen it, it's worth a watch. I think it's pretty comical. 2 guys are disposing of a dead body, and there's no real, like, they're just wrapping up a dead body in a trash bag, and it was just hilarious how he made it like some cushions, a pair of shoes, and a basketball, and just wrapped them. Really looks like a dead body. You know? I was pretty proud of that. And they're dragging this dead body out, and basically had an argument over, like, the one guy comes in, he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Help me take the trash out here." You know, it's like obviously a dead body, and he never refers to the dead body at all. He's just like, "Hey, you got any pizza rolls?" And the whole thing is an argument over like what flavor pizza rolls the guy has, and it's like maybe 2 minutes, like, and so yeah, we gotten good feedback off that too, and more and more people are just watching it, sort of like blowing our minds, and I'm like, wow, these people are like actually watching these, and we never figured we'd get, you know, more than 3 views and everything, you know, and didn't have an expectation to do more than that. So the following month in January is when we got Zach came in and got involved and was in a good chunk of stuff for a couple of years. He did we did this one called Louis Goes to Limbo, and that was the first one with sound recorder, so it was like basic practice again, and very short one. It was our first one with sound, to learn sound with that. Just a weird mind bender thing. You just use
boom mics? Or?
In the early days, we had played around with boom mics. I guess Pizza Rolls was on a boom mic when we did that one, but yeah, this is on the Zoom, so a Zoom H3, if you know what that is, like a really common recorder, just very high quality recorder, and yeah, so you just use that, and that picks up all the sound you want. It's the spot placement of the mic, like anything, you know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, started using the Zoom, and the whole time we're buying lenses and stuff like that, always upgrading. This whole bullshit spiel I'm giving. Like, we're always like upgrading stuff, always looking for new lenses and stuff like that. So yeah, so we shot those came out as part of the short series. Those were like the first 2 things we shot, and we're like, okay, this will be a different kind of series or whatever. Like maybe 4 of us might work on it or whatever on any day, like a Saturday comes up, like, I'm bored too, let's shoot something. All right, you know, we just knock something out. So Great Self-Exile was like, okay, we're gonna shoot our second film, you know, second short film. So yeah, we get Zach and Devin and Josh are all part of it. We shoot it. It's finished. That showed at Muscatine Film Festival as well. Yeah, so I go. Josh is composing for the very first time ever. And Eric Murphy, Earlham, he comes through and, you know, just shows up while we're, you know, getting the music done for it, and just chills and hangs out. And, like, he's just like, this is cool, you know, like, super impressed with the whole thing. And you know, and Eric went to film school, if you don't know. Like, he went to film school in Chicago. So, like, he has, like, he knows about film, obviously does music, and he had his own Zoom and his own camera and all this stuff. So he was like right in the cut with what we were already doing. The second Barfly, going back to that, was like had like wrestling references to it, like late 90s wrestling references. And if you know Eric, you know that he's a giant wrestling fan. So, I hated Barfly 2, and Eric saw it and absolutely fucking died laughing. He thought it was the funniest thing because he got every stupid little wrestling reference that was in there. Like, he knew them all. So yeah, he liked it and was just like, yeah, I think what you guys do is cool. And we're like, yeah, well, you're invited, And like, if anything, is an art collector, so anyone that wanted to do anything at any time on any film ever through the history of it could step in and step right back out if they wanted to. If they didn't like it, didn't have fun, wasn't their thing. And some people have come, stayed for a long time, then left. Some people have left, came back again, just that's what it's open door, we're not a gang or, a group or
You're
anything
in for
like
life.
that, right?
You can't fucking leave.
If you want to be able to do this, if you have the time to
nobody
do it,
ever leaves.
Yeah, and nobody leaves once they're in, you gotta get a tattoo on your forehead and everything,
yeah.
So yeah, Eric came out after Great Self-Exile had come out, and then we shot another film right after that. So 2015 was the year where, like, we went crazy with shooting. Like, we shot every month. We would shoot a short film, like a 15-minute short film. If anyone's ever tried to shoot a short film, you know that shooting a 15-minute short film in 2 days is a shitload and probably reflects in the quality of the films they're making. But we were just so motivated at that time. And so we shot. So we had seen a film some people might have seen. It's called Rubber. You ever seen Rubber?
I haven't seen it, but it's about like the tire or whatever. And does it kill people or something?
It's a tire that is a sentient tire that rolls around the desert and blows stuff up with its mind. So we got Rubber. We see Rubber and and we're like, we thought it was just brilliant. Like, this is fucking brilliant right here. It's made by a guy named Quentin Dupuis. Who's a musician, really. He's a French musician. And he's made a couple of films, and we kind of, once I find a director and I think it's interesting, I watch all of their shit within like a day or two, like their entire filmography. So I watch the rest of the stuff, and he makes these films based on the opening scene of Rubber. This guy climbs out of a trunk, gets out, and goes into this whole spiel about making films for no reason, and it's sort of on the comedy edge, I guess, but still just like mind benders and surreal and all this stuff. And so we were like, Rubber's hilarious. People hate Rubber like across the board. Like, people fucking hate that movie. And I just appreciated it so much. I mean, even some of the guys in Mo direct were like, this is a stupid fucking movie. Like, I loved it. I thought it was so good. So we were like, let's make something that crosses like Quentin Dupuis sort of like ideas of like no reason, his whole thing is no reason. Let's take No Reason and mix that with another film that's kind of like an underground classic called Gummo. And Gummo's like, it's a pretty famous little movie that nobody really knows about. People that know about it never forget it. Like, it's very cheaply looking. It has really no story, really. I guess it would be like what you would think of how a story should go. Your 5 acts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like right through, and this happens and this happens and this makes this happen, kind of thing. He doesn't really use that style, and his films are like really grimy looking, and there's a scene where this little boy is in a bathtub and the water is like fucking gray, and he's eating spaghetti in this bathtub, and like it literally, it almost makes you sick to your stomach when you're looking at it. It's just fucking disgusting looking. The whole film is like this. And so that director is Harmony Korine, who's big film that he made years later was Spring Breakers with James Franco. It's not that old, but yeah, that was kind of his coming out party now. But yeah, he's been around for a really, really long time. If you haven't seen Gummo, you should smoke some weed and watch that. have a good time. So yeah, we were like, let's take something that's like Gummo and mix it with like this No Reason Quentin Dupuis style. So we made a film called 1, 2 Left Shoe, and it's just totally ridiculous. A guy at the beginning loses his left shoe, and then basically walks around for the entire film asking all of these random people who are doing random things through it everyone's doing something that's totally different. My buddy Stefan, who's the one who gave me all the recording gear way back in the day, he was there, and he has a hilarious character in it, where he runs around and like I think it's like green and orange, like workout stuff or whatever. And he's in the military, so he's pretty fit. And every single scene, I think, in the film, he at least runs through it if he doesn't stop and say something like motivationally stupid in it. And Austin Stone came in for the first time. Austin Stone still works with us, very important part of the crew, of the gang. Yeah, Austin came in. That was his first thing. Who worked on with us. I think his scene, he's just rolling a bowling alley down the street, and it's just rolling a bowling alley, and you know the main character says, "You see my left shoe?" Yeah, the whole thing, the entire film. So yeah, we shot that, put it together. Eric Murphy came out. That was his first thing he shot with us. You know, he was just hilarious, and I mean, we like immediately connected with Eric, and it was seamless, you know. Josh was there for that. He was in that film too. Just about everybody was in that film. Like when we did that film, everybody came up with their own characters as well. Like a lot of everything we do is very collaborative. So we might write a script, but almost everybody, it's up to them what they want to do, how they want to do this, how they want to make the character seem. You know, we might give them like, okay, we kind of need to go in this way, but other than that, you know, you can do whatever you want. Like what would be fun for you to do? Because we want it to be fun for everybody and not just come out and be bossed around the entire time and have people be able to be like self-expressive with the characters and stuff. So we get 1, 2 Left Shoe done, which does not hold up well, but you can probably get a good look at just about everybody that worked in it. That's one of the only times I've ever done anything in a film. Like you pretty much never see my face in the films. I almost pretty much never do anything in them. I like cinematography. That's what I like to do. I like playing with the cameras and stuff like that. So that was one of the first characters I ever played, was in that. I'm sitting on a toilet. There was a food tray in front of me with a peanut butter sandwich with Swiss on it. And then we took water and dumped hot cocoa powder into it, so the water is fucking like brownish gray looking. And I'm sitting on this toilet, you know, and I pulled all my pants up like around my ass as much as I could, and I'm just eating this sandwich and food's falling out of my mouth, and I put the scene off all day. Like I was trying to basically get out of even doing it. And I was like, come on, you know, get in there and do it. I was like, okay, fuck. I sat and did it, and a lot of people said it was like one of their favorite scenes from it. Shake every once in a while does outtake reels of the stuff, you know, like the behind the scenes stuff. And if you watch the first outtake reel, you can see a bunch of the stuff from like how long it took us to shoot that one little tiny scene. And fucking, I saw like Borat in it, and
yeah,
I'm just hammering this peanut butter and Swiss sandwich, and everybody's just like gross the fuck out. And I got sunburned from shooting all day that day, so I'm like super sunburned. I'm fucking chugging this fucking water with cocoa powder in it, and fucking like I got like a roll of toilet paper on this like food tray that's in front of me, and it's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, we shot that, and then so that came out in May of 2015. In June of 2015 was the first Juntopia, and that was sort of like when a lot of stuff changed. It was like what we were doing, just fucking off making these films. And Eric Murphy sets up Juntopia, runs it, and he was like, yeah, he's like, why don't you guys come, you know, be on Juntopia? And we were like, what? Like, huh? Like, how? Like, how would you even show the film? I don't understand. So it was at Roz Talks that year.
Was that the first time you were a part of on a show, or would you?
Yeah, that's the first time.
That was the first one.
Did a show ever.
I was trying to remember like how I found out about you guys.
Yeah,
and I know it was through Eric, I believe. Yeah,
because you guys were on that show.
Yeah,
I know because I have footage of you guys at that show.
Yeah, so I wonder if I knew about you guys before that show, or if that was might have been around
probably the first time. I would imagine. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, as I say, because we shot a bunch of stuff that I know for sure. You guys opened the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like, I remember you, Ishmael performed with you guys. Yeah, I don't know, there's 2 more with you for sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember it super well, but yeah, I have the footage of it if you ever want to see it. Definitely have it. Yeah. But yeah,
backlog all your shit. Everything's on catalog now.
Yeah, everything's in catalog now. I got a lot more bands, musicians, and probably know that I actually have like lots of footage of people performing and stuff like that. But yeah, Eric was like, come down, just shoot with your cameras and just pick up footage and have the event, like capture it and stuff like that. So we're like, yeah, cool. We were really stoked on being invited to it, and like so we never thought in a million years we'd do anything else more than just slap it on YouTube and move on to the next creative thing that we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fucking Eric puts us on, and he let us show Great Self-Exile and 1 2 Left Shoe, both shows at Gintopia for sure. Maybe another, but for sure those 2. Yeah, so we shot those. So that was a big changing point. I want to say we started working on the feature-length film after that same month in June, after Gintopia, or right before Gintopia, I think. Maybe that was 2016. I don't know. It's been a long time. Lots of fucking films now. I'm trying to think of what else we had shot that year.
See, basically, we're doing like 1 a month and shit.
Basically, that year we did like 1 a month. Like, we were just cranking them out, man. Like, just like, and there's just a million ideas in your head. For me, like, I'd been wanting to make films forever. So there's 1,000 ideas already in my head. I was like, how can just taking the ideas and bending them to be made on almost no money every time, and always like every time we get a little bit of money saved up, we just buy something new,
right?
Buy another piece of gear that can help us,
Definitely.
And you'll see it if you were to watch like our catalog from the beginning to like the newest stuff. Like, you'll just see like how the gear changes over the years, and learning for sure. Always learning.
Man, that line of work, man, is how it is. It's just a lot of fucking learning.
Yeah. Well, I think with anything, too. Anything you do artistically, for sure.
But even just, like, man, like, if you just want to buy, like, 1 lens, it's like, that's a shit ton of money,
shit lot of money. And,
like,
the cameras come with the lens, and we immediately would just, like, people that buy DSLRs and take pictures with them, they just keep that kit lens that comes with it, and we would get new cameras and then take the kit lens and immediately fucking sell it to get some more money back to buy another lens. So,
right.
Because, like, aperture is definitely, like, one of the most important things when you're buying a lens, and your kit lens goes to about a 3.6, which is, just, like, shit. Like,
I want, like, a 1.8 or something.
1.8
super fucking
1.8 is
low.
Really good. It really only goes to 1.4, so like 1.4 is the lowest you can get. We have multiple like 1.8, so everything we get, we don't go below a 2.8. Like, if anything's under a 2.8, we don't buy it. Like, it's just like, because it won't shoot well in low light. If anyone doesn't know what an aperture is, it's what allows you to shoot in very low light.
And the kit came with what? 3?
The kit came with a 3.6. Almost all kits come with a 3.6 when you just buy it, like, off Amazon, So. Yeah,
man. It's just like, are you guys just doing it like, as you can afford it? Time to get new gear. Yeah, man, I feel you. I know how that is, man. So much stuff over the years, just compiling this.
Compiled it, all over the years. I mean,
building an empire.
Somewhere around this time, my brother built a computer. He knows how to build computers, so he built basically what would be the equivalent of a gaming computer if somebody was like gamed a lot on PC. Like, it's basically a gaming computer. Because he knows how to build computers, he built it for like $500. But I mean, if you were to buy, it'd be thousands of dollars. Yeah. So he bought it, and we strictly use it for filmmaking. We use it for nothing else. Like, he just sits there and waits for films, and that studio gear still left over from way back in the day. So I was able to get like nice speakers hooked up to it and everything else. So it was actually like taking old gear that I was hardly using and everything. You know, I have mics like this and everything. So, you know, it's taking all of that gear and just mixing that with the computer gear and just always learning color grading. If anybody out there wants to get into filmmaking, there's a film series. It used to be on Netflix, not there anymore. It's called The Story of Film, an Odyssey, or it's an Odyssey, Story of Film. One is either way. But
as a series?
It's a whole series, and I think there's like 15 episodes of it, and it starts from the very beginning of the film and goes all the way up to 2015.
Shit.
And gives you a whole, just the entire history of film. But more than anything, it it's basically just this guy, and he shows you all these films, I mean, from all around the world. I mean, foreign films, everything, every sort of film movement, from the French New Wave to, you know, New American Hollywood to, you know, the Japanese golden era of like Akira Kurosawa making fucking, you know, the samurai films, and just everything, the noir, you know, period from like the 40s through the 50s. That, you know, people are still copying that, making neo-noir now and stuff like that, so very popular, kind of coming back. And but the whole thing is just like, here's a shot, he shows you a shot, like, look at this, look at the lighting in this, look how he did this, and then goes the next thing.
What was it called?
It's called, I think it's called Film Odyssey.
I'm pretty sure
that's the
name. I gotta check that out myself.
It's wonderful, dude. I mean, it's just this Irish guy, and he knows his shit. And I watched that. I've watched it five times at least. I mean, all 15 episodes. Every episode's an hour long, so it's like 15 hours, and I've watched it at least 5 times. Like, it's a great way to learn cinematography in particular. Like, you can really see, like, I mean, he'll just tell you, like, this is how Orson Welles used deep space in this scene. See how he has the guy here and the guy here, and see how the lights, you know, he put the lights here to make it look this way, and it brings out this emotion and mood in you. And I mean, fuck, man, you don't even need film school if you got that thing, dude. Like, you really don't. It's fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah, that taught me a lot through that as well. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else we had made through 2015. We just kept shooting stuff.
Because you did the Barfly web series version.
That would have been in 2017, because we actually have not released anything in 2019 yet. So in 2018, we put out 2 films. One had been shot in 2017. We put out one of the another mini series in 2018. Yeah, so 2017, I believe, from 2016 to 2017, that winter we shot Barfly Lounge. So 2016, I mean,
We're gonna pull up the records and verify.
Yeah, sorry, I just don't want to be saying shit the wrong way or be leaving important stuff out. Not that anyone cares, but
yes, definitive discography. We're going over videography here.
Yeah, right, man.
Getting it down.
I find my own shit. Just so you guys know, I don't ever watch my own shit, so. But
you just release it and forget on to the next.
You know, and when you know how you make music and stuff like that, and you make it and then never want to see it again.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's my old stuff.
Yeah, you definitely almost never want to see the old
yeah.
stuff. And somebody's like, oh, let me check this out. It's like, no.
It's like, check out my new stuff. I'm like, oh, not that stuff. Like, you just released it last week. That's my old stuff.
Okay, so after 1-2-Shoe, we made the film that we had the most success on. We shot in October. So in the Quad Cities, they had a film festival called the QC 7-Day Film Festival. That's what it's called. QC 7-Day Film Festival. They don't run it anymore, which is a shame because it's a really cool film festival.
Who put that on?
Brandon Gale. Brandon Gale put it on.
Shit, you guys just should start a film fest.
I know. I'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
So yeah, we shot. So you had 7 days to shoot a film. So we had an idea already. You know, just millions of ideas. So we already had the idea of what we were gonna do next. Um, this girl had given Devin a box of graduation gowns, an entire box of them. So we were like, oh man, what can we do with these? You know, so we're like, let's make something with like, you know, these people always are in these graduation gowns, but it shows them, you know, going through life, but they always have the graduation gown on, you know, so it's kind of like from the moment they graduate through the hardships and, you know, the reality of life. So we had the gowns, we go to the festival, you know, we already kind of had an idea, and they said, yeah, it's got to be a 20-minute film. So we were like, shit, you know, like we had an idea for like maybe a 5-minute film with these gowns. So we're like, okay, we're going to turn it into a 20-minute film. Eric was one of the actors in it, Devin was one of the actors in it, and Shake was one of the actors in it. We had to pick all of them because we had this idea where they would all have beards at the end of the film. So the easiest way to do that is to have the beards at the beginning of the film and then shave them as you go on through the day. We shot it one day. Because, you know, it's 7 days and everyone's going to fucking work, 5 of them. So,
yeah, right.
You know, so it was like, okay, we got essentially 2 days to get this entire thing done, a 20-minute film at that. So, yeah, this film, so we shot it in reverse and, like, but in the chronological order, they're all clean shaven and they just got out of high school and they're all holding their diplomas and they're, you know, talking about how, you know, they got their whole lives ahead of them, you know, and everything is going to be great from here on out. And then it cuts to them all basically attacking their dreams and stuff, and it's kind of broken up into 3 sections. So the second section then is them doing their dreams, and one wants to be a painter, Eric wants to be a dancer, and Shake wants to be a writer. So they're all like, you know, going through this, and it sort of shows them all doing these things. But you know, Shake has bill collectors calling him, and Eric's working in like a dead end restaurant job, and Devin wants to be a painter, but you know, he has an eviction notice at his house. So, you know, life starts to come into place and stuff like that. So, you know, then it kind of goes into them all having the jobs and stuff like that. Devin was painting, and then he's fucking doing lawn care, and Shake is a mechanic trying to put a car together. And the whole time they got these fucking gowns on with the fucking hats and everything. Their facial hair is getting longer as each like part of the film, you know, extends. So, you know, they're clean shaven to a goatee to scraggly looking hair, and you know, Eric was in the dead end restaurant job at that point, and then you know, and they're all kind of reflecting on what they wanted to do. And then by the 4th, well, I guess it would be the 3rd actual sequence of the film, is them like just sitting in this house. We used this buddy's house. His house is fucked up, and yeah, it's just a mess. Like what you can just think of like a bachelor dude living in. Like,
right.
There's just trash everywhere and cigarette butts, and you know, no hating on the guy, but like nobody wanted to sit down in this house and everything. And but he knew why we were shooting in there. He was just totally into it. And yeah, the house is all fucked up, and all at this point was the beginning. So the first shot we shot the whole day was the last scene in the film. So they all had just the worst looking facial hair, like just giant beards, and fucking they're sitting in there, and they got the gowns kind of open now, and like cigarettes hanging out of their mouth, and holding beer bottles, and like talking about where like life had gone wrong and stuff like that. So we show that film at the QC 7-day festival. The other 3 filmmakers were Jeremy Warnley, who we collaborated with many times after we met him there. Jeff Hyman showed a film there, and a guy named Christopher showed a film there. It's out in Colorado now somewhere. And yeah, I think we sort of had a leg up on a lot of the other people. Some of them were shooting their first films and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a way to shoot your first film, is to have all these regulations, and it has to be 20 minutes long. You know, it's a long time. We showed that at the Establishment in Rock Island, which is a awesome like theater, very very nice place. If you've never been there, it's fucking awesome. I wish they did more film there, because they pretty much just do like comedy sports down there. That's about it. But it's a great place if they were to show more films there. So yeah, you have best film as voted on by the judges, and then there's all the actor awards, and then there was fan favorite, which was voted. So we lost to Jeremy Warnley in the judges vote, and then in which we talked to Brandon Gale the next year when he was trying to get the film festival together, but was unable to, and he said it was literally that close between who was going to win it between our two films. And he said that had we not had so much cursing in our shit, that we probably would have won. But Jeremy made a great film, and
goddamn bastards.
I know, right? What the fuck? So but then the fan favorite award, everyone in the whole building voted, and there was a lot of people there. It was really cool. It was like a packed place just for film, which is pretty rare. If you're in a packed place, you're usually not there for the film. They're there for the bands or something, an artist. But so we won that award, the fan favorite award, which was really cool. It was actually almost better to win that than it was to win best film, just because we felt the people there that watched it, they picked us to win it, so it was in their hands, so
definitely
we were really stoked on that, to have won that. It was our first film festival. Right after that, we went to the Muscatine Film Festival, and we had 3 films show there. We had One Two Left Shoe, The Great Self-Exile, and Sinister Nature. All had been signed up before we ever even made Pointless. And I didn't really enjoy that film festival. There was all these like different blocks, and there was like really nobody there. And then the award section of it was pretty much like basically the group of friends that put it on. And it was just all their films, and then we had one film in there, and then they didn't let us even speak at like everyone got to go up and talk about the film after they showed it. We weren't even allowed to go up and speak on the film.
Why?
I don't know. They play Hollywood, man. They were playing Hollywood out there. They actually had this big banner, and everyone would go stand in front of it, and it, had that movie walk. The red carpet walk, which is just like in a hallway. And everyone's taking pictures in there and shit. And we show up, and we're a scruffy looking bunch, for sure. And we just hop in there, I remember it was 2 days long. The second day we went in, and we actually got stopped at the door, and we have badges and everything like that. We get stopped at the door, like, who are you guys? And we had the most films in the festival. We had 3 films showing in it, So and those film blocks all day long, and they're basically people from all around the world that had put films in. And there was a film from India in there. It was fucking incredible. I mean, it was easily the best film there. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, this film was like undoubtedly the winner. Like this film is the one that should win. I mean, it wasn't even in the running for like to be put into the award round or whatever the fuck it was. I was like the film that hands down. I mean, when I saw this film, I was like, our shit should be pulled right now. Like, this is really good. And I mean, it was just a joke of a film festival. So we did that in early November of 2015. In late November 2015, Jeremy Warnley, who had won the QC 7-Day Festival, put his own film festival on called the Cannes Film Festival, which if anyone knows, Cannes Film Festival is like a real festival. It's in Italy or it's in France. It's one of the two. I can't remember. But yeah, he put on the Cannes Film Festival, but his was just CANS, like Cannes.
Yeah.
And it was all donation, and there was a food drive and stuff like that, that's much more of what we're interested in. And there's a lot of the same films that had been at QC 7 Day shows, so we showed Pointless, and then we won Best Film at that. We won't. Yeah, I don't know if he's just being nice and letting us win or whatever, but yeah. So we won Best Film at that, and Eric had gotten Best Actor added as well and stuff like that.
Nice.
It was really cool. It was much more. I actually was hoping to start that festival up again with Jeremy's blessing to start the Cannes Film Festival. Anything that we've ever done in terms of us setting up an event, it's always been free, and it's all been donation. Like we had a food drive and clothing drive just in November. We had a clothing drive at that event in Moline. So anything that we do like that's my preference. I also don't like, back to your point of putting on the film festivals, like I don't really like to compete. And because when you compete, you should be there networking. And
we just make it like a film showcase.
Exactly. You should bring your films and show them, and then try to like raise things to donate and everything like that. If otherwise it becomes competitive.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk to the other guy because he's your competition or whatever. And that's the worst way to go about it.
Right.
This is not a big enough film community here. There's almost a non-existent film community here.
Trying to grow this community, not fucking shut it out.
So you get the two filmmakers here and make them face off. Like what the fuck. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, and no offense to Brandon, because he put on a great film festival like he did. It was really good. So. But yeah, I would like to do the Cannes Festival again and just showcase films by anyone that's got a film. Bring your film. You can show it. Help promote it. Let's get food drive going. Let's get food in here. Donate it. Shit like that. That's what we should do for it.
That'd be fucking
forget
awesome.
about making any money on it or anything like that. Not playing Hollywood out here. Help out in the community and shit like that. Give back.
Right.
So yeah, that's been our most watched film and all of that we made is Pointless. Great Self-Exile got onto if you know what like a Roku app is, like a smart TV. There's a channel on there called Inc. Independent Network channel, and the Great Self-Exile has been on that for a long time. I haven't looked at that channel in a while. It's pretty goofy. Like we're supposed to make like residuals off like ads and stuff. Where's my check?
Yeah, right.
It's pretty much a joke. Like my brother, being the computer whiz that he is, went and looked up. You gotta send all the stuff to like an address or whatever, so he fucking Google mapped the address with Street View. He's like, dude, it's just some fucking apartment building in like Tennessee. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of a joke. I don't know. I don't even know what's on there. I don't know if it's still going or not, but I know the channel's still there. So, but yeah, it was so Great Self-Exile was on that. So yeah, that was pretty much 2015. That's what we did through that year. Into 2016, the years start going by fast. It's hard to remember.
Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah, so actually, we had also released another short film called HAL 360, which was a 2001 A Space Odyssey, like, tribute video sort of thing, like, and it was about like an Xbox 360 that, like, if anyone's ever seen 2001, there's a character named Hal who is like the ship's onboard AI, and he pretty much tries to murder the crew in it. So sorry, spoilers, but you should watch it anyways. Lots more after that. So yeah, HAL 360 was like the same idea. his Xbox starts talking to the character. Shake was playing the character, and he's like got the headphones on, starts talking to him. And I actually did the voice for it, and I did as close to the actual HAL as I could, and we had a broken PlayStation 3, so the HAL, the Xbox tells him to go and basically smash his PlayStation 3 up. So he's outside with an axe, like breaking this PlayStation 3. And there's a band called Symmetry. Symmetry made a. You ever seen the film Drive? It was Ryan Gosling.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
The guy, his name is Johnny Jewel. He's a composer, and he's in tons of different groups, Chromatics and Glass Candy and lots of different stuff. But he's composing for lots of people now at this point. I hear his stuff all the time. I just saw a film not that long ago where he had a bunch of music on there. He has a label called Italians Do It Better Music, and they're Portland. And so when Drive was coming out, he made an entire soundtrack for Drive. He didn't use the soundtrack, and they used a lot of his music, but didn't use that particular soundtrack. So the group Symmetry, that's who made the soundtrack, they released it as it was titled Themes for an Imaginary Film, and released it, and like it's just like, I don't know, it's like 2 discs long or something. It was like just a shitload of songs from it and everything, and I love it. Like it's like really like a great, it's like a synth pop sort of thing to it. So we actually contacted them and asked if we could use a track, of theirs, and surprisingly they got right back to us and said absolutely yes, go ahead. So nice. So we got to use their song and put it in the film and stuff like that. So it's one of the only times we moved outside of Josh on any music. We've only done that a couple times. Josh has always this whole time been making all the scores for everything, still doing it to this day. So he's been there for a long time now. So yeah, we released that, and that was like a Halloween sort of thing, like put it out with Halloween. And then, in 2016, we made a film called Day 19. We shot in Moline. We got in a spot. And it was kind of meant to be like one of the first films we were going to make into multiple films, like, so it's like the apocalypse happens of sorts. We don't really explain it, there's no explanation, but everybody's in like a FEMA camp kind of room, and everything's shot in one single room. And it's just a shitload of people we called, and they came down and were in the film. And so it's supposed to be like this the 19th day after, everyone's been moving to FEMA camp. Martial law has been imposed. Mm-hmm. And then the idea was that we would shoot more, like, day 79, day 150, we keep making them, and try to follow certain characters from it, because we established like 5 characters out of it. Mm-hmm. And we'd sort of follow their stories and stuff like that through, the world. And we had some locations, some like a junkyard was one that we were setting out to shoot another one of the films, and one of the characters would be there living now farther down and stuff like that. But I was way over my head doing that film. Like, it was a big film with a lot of people and a lot of characters, and I think 9 people wrote on it. I let everybody write basically their own dialogue and everything else to it, and the exact character they wanted to play and everything. It's not one of my favorite films. It was a tough film to make, and sort of killed the plans on doing anymore after that. So when you watch it, it's kind of like, hey, it sort of just drops off at the end. It was kind of meant to be like a cliffhanger to make sequels to, or prequels even, just to expand on the world. But it didn't really work. Didn't really work the way you'd hope. So you just sort of bail on it and move to the next thing, and that's what we did. But all these on YouTube too, on our YouTube channel if you guys want to check anything out. After that, we did a film called To Stardust We Return. We shot in July of 2016. That was for a film festival that Richard Linklater was putting on. Richard Linklater made films like Dazed and Confused and Slacker, and just tons of film. Bad News Bears, School of Rock, like just Scanner Darkly, which is probably one of my favorite films of all time. That movie's crazy. Yeah, one of my favorite films for sure. So Richard Linklater put on a film festival, and anyone could, put films into it. So we shot this film called To Stardust We Return, and they had NASA opened up their library of stock footage, and basically you could use all and any of that stock footage and put it into your film. So that was like kind of the idea of it, was like, early man, and then like the space footage, and then a guy writing a story in the middle of it. Austin Stone was the guy writing the story, and so he's like writing a novel, and then it has to do with like basically time from the beginning of man to into space travel, stuff like that. So that was a part of the short film series. It did not get accepted or anything like that, but I do think it's a cool little film that we made. It's not anything big or anything like that. And we shot it in a day with 4 people, and then Austin came later in the day, so it was a 5th person. So yeah, 5 people we made that with, and it's everything, camera, sound, absolutely every last thing of it. So yeah, this is a film that I thought was pretty good. But yeah, it was hard to get anything into festivals like that.
Yeah.
After that, and I think maybe even still in July, we shot the sequel to 1-2 Left Shoe called 3-4 Feature Door, and brought back a lot of the same characters and stuff like that, and just went more into like the left shoe, like how left shoes become sentient and are basically trying to murder the wearers of the left shoes. It's totally fucking ridiculous. And yeah, so we did that, and then we might have shown. I think we showed that at event at Rostock, that Eric put on right after the Trump election. So it was like the pre-hangover, or is it the post-hangover election show or something like that, and we showed that there. That's a film that we all kind of, after we did it, we're like, I don't think we're gonna make any more of these. It was a lot of work, and it started to kill on the quality a little bit, so sort of bailed on that one. And but there are some really funny parts in it and stuff like that. I had to redo my character from before in it, but it was not nearly as good and felt much more forced than doing it off the top of my head. But some people in it did just awesome characters and did really funny and did a really good job on it. But yeah, we sort of all talked about it, I don't know, a year later, and we were just kind of like, yeah, I don't really want to do that again. So
yeah.
After that is when that November is when we started the Barfly Lounge series, which was 5 episodes. Our first time doing a series, wrote 5 episodes, plotted it all out. You were in there. You came and did an episode.
Yes,
Thank you, Sarah. Trying to get
much fun.
Anyone. And yeah, like, so we just had all these established characters. It went back to the original Barfly. We like established the one character and Shake's character, Murphy Lanchester, and Murphy Lanchester basically returns. He's basically scamming everybody, all the barflies in this bar, and he's like writing this fucking book, like a conspiracy book, but he knows it's a bullshit conspiracy book when he's trying to talk everybody else into it. It's called like Gods of the Moon, and it's about like, you're just ancient alien ideas, like that shit. So he's just like wrote this fake book, and he's trying to get everybody on board with them, and they're basically cheating people out of like they hire a guy to be a webmaster, and it didn't really like get a lot of views on it. I don't usually care too much about views when you're doing a web series and you see the views dropping. You can tell less and less people are actually watching it through. But I think it's actually pretty funny. Like, there's a lot of funny stuff in it. We don't usually do like comedy at all because this is such a hard genre to do. Everybody thinks different things are funny, so right. You watch short films all the time on YouTube, and it's a comedy, and then you watch it and you're like, this isn't funny. You know, like, but it's funny those people because like inside jokes to them, or you know.
Right, yeah.
So we don't usually like to do comedy, but this one was like a comedy mostly. And yeah, it just, you know, escalates all the way through 5 episodes, and I thought it was written pretty well and stuff like that, and did a good job of moving through the 5 episodes. We had different artists on every single episode. We had a different artist go. Sister Wife was in an episode, and Austin Stone did stand-up comedy in an episode.
Hell yeah.
And you know they're all doing it in these characters. Eric Murphy played a janitor who worked for Stage Time. He didn't work for money. He worked for Stage Time, and would go up there with his keyboard and just like play these songs just like on the go, and like they're fucking hilarious. Like he was so funny and all of them. So yeah, we did that, and like I said, didn't do super well. We did show it the summer after. Christoph Crane came here. I don't know if you remember that. When Christoph Crane was at I can't think of the name of that venue. Skellington Manor. There's that Skellington Manor. So like before the show actually started and all the artists were on the show, we showed all 5 episodes of Barfly Lounge before that. But yeah, I think it kind of holds up well. I think if people went back and watch it now, I think they would get more out of it. And probably when we were releasing it 1 episode at a time, I think it was hard to follow. Like, what the fuck is this going? You know, like, what is happening here? But once you see it all the way through, our buddy Jason Sandberg, who doesn't really act with us, was very good. It's Devin's childhood friend. Yeah, he was in it. He played the webmaster. Jason's very like gruff. Got a lot of tattoos and stuff like that, and I mean, a lot of people think he's like this very intimidating looking person. He's just really chill, laid back guy, but you know, first impressions, people think like, you know, he's gonna beat you up or something like that. So we had him be the webmaster, so he's like wearing like these huge thick glasses he literally couldn't see out of. He's wearing like a white shirt and like a tie and everything, but then we made him talk like a thug through the entire thing. So he's in there like, where the fuck's my money at? He's just dressed up so fucking hilariously stupid, and he was great. He was like the best actor in the entire thing, and I mean, he was really squeezing in time to make it happen, but he was fucking great in it. So yeah, if anyone wants to go check that out, like I think it holds up pretty well and didn't get much attention when we made it, but yeah, you can see Cody in it too, so check it out. Check it out. Yeah, we did the Wander music video by Waking Robots after that, sometime that spring, I believe. We shot that at the Arbory. Jane DeMarco, Baby Jane, if anyone knows who that is, she's incredible. She's the best human being I've ever met in my life. Like, really, just fucking cool as first I know. Jane had set that all up, and I mean, really, it was like, hey, Eric, want to shoot a music video for, you know, Earl Hem? And he's like, no, shoot a music video for Baby Jane instead, you know. Okay, I'll shoot a music video for Baby Jane. So we go, Baby Jane, hey, we're going to shoot a music video for you. No, I want you guys to shoot it for Waking Robots. So everybody was just like, you know, just how the scene can be, you know, where everybody's sort of like, you know, I'm not the important one. This person's the important one. Do them instead. So that's just kind of how it went. And that's how we got to Waking Robots and shot that video. And the Artery let us in, which was awesome. Dan Johnson's artwork was on display, who makes crazy artwork. And Corey Peak from Closet Witch, his artwork was on display in there at the same time as well. So it was really interesting, awesome artwork was in there. A great song that they had that they were so kind of us to. Jane was in the video for the entire thing, and yeah, it was really one of our first like real music video that we did, you know, as a motive director, I would say, you know. So that was really cool. It was a fun experience. Sort of got our bearings down as to how to approach doing music videos from then on. But yeah, that was a fun video. Though. I had a good time with that. I need some more.
Music videos are fun. We do music videos for ourselves, like me.
I've seen that. Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah, we like to do that.
I'm gonna have to have you show me some stuff on that. I've seen some of the After Effects stuff. Was that After Effects that you're using?
I haven't used it. I have After Effects, but I haven't even gotten into it yet.
I just grade with it. I solely color grade with it. But yeah, I have a buddy who does a lot of stuff with After Effects, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, you can do a bunch of crazy shit.
It's basically, I just call it Photoshop for film. Yeah, I watched them. I was watching your guys' videos and stuff the other day, and I was like, "Oh man, you guys had something." I was like, "I don't know how the fuck they did that." You know, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I don't know how they did it. And they did this and that, you know. So
the music videos are always super fun. We've never done any like a full length of anything like that. We started doing like some short, like just some funny bullshit videos and stuff. But yeah, doing the long form like a film or something, that's a big project to take on.
Yeah, so we shot a film called Esoteric Tales that is a feature-length film, and we shot it like Tales from the Crypt. So it's an anthology film, so it's all of these little stories, and then shot another one that would connect all of these stories. And I think I put the rough cut of it that I got put together was like somewhere around like 58 minutes or whatever. So it was probably just short of a technical feature film, which is like 110 minutes. So we were real close to that, and it wasn't done, so it could have went under or over still. But we shot that every year for years. I mean, we shot in summers, there's winters, there's all these different sorts of backdrops to it, all these different kind of like esoteric tales, like, you know, weird little stories. Like one is a device that this guy finds in his grandpa's house when he's cleaning it out. One's about a briefcase, you know, with the contents are unknown, you know. And it's like a whole like Illuminati, you know, sort of thing to it, you know. But yeah, there's another one in there too. Like a cannibal like story to it, and they all connect together. We shot in like a church. Like yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it's a film I liked. But it never came out because it's a massive undertaking. At this point, I don't know if we'll ever like really. It was sort of like we're gonna premiere this, we're gonna do my stuff with it. Now it's kind of like if it ever gets done, we'll just drop it on YouTube. You know,
yeah.
Because some of the stuff is so old. Like I mean, it's very very old. There's not a lot. I mean, you can tell experience levels are different as it goes throughout it. So, yeah, a lot of it's like the three anthology stories have all been scored. There was a ton of sound design work to do that was left over on it. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff to do left with it, and it just got to that point where it's sort of bowed out, you know, like hopefully someday we'll put that on YouTube and people can watch. There's some like really cool stuff that we did in it, you know. And yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a massive idea. Like we're gonna put this together, this giant film, you know. And I mean, we literally didn't have enough actors at points, you know. Like it's just like calling people, like, can you come act in this scene, you know, because you know, we didn't want to reuse anyone, obviously, so, you know, you basically got 4 short films and you can't reuse anyone. Usually we're always reusing people. So I apologize to any of the actors that didn't get to see their work on that, because, you know, people put time into that, took time out of their lives to come do it, you know. There's no money involved for them or anything, so they didn't get to see the finished product of it. But yeah, hit me up, you can come watch it, you know. I do got that rough cut of it, but yeah, it was big. It was hard to do, you know. I don't recommend too many people jump into that too early. You know?
Yeah.
You might want to be able to have your whole crew take a week off of work and and work on it that way, because it was not easy to do. But there, like I said, there's some stuff in it that I really like. Would love to show people someday that stuff that we did get done for, and there's some stuff in it that's horribly made as well. And it's like, see it just grown, like, oh no. But yeah, we also have another film called Lost Transmission, and we shot with Brock Wan, and Austin Stone was in that film, and yeah, we shot that whole thing, and it just never got done. Which is really the only film that we ever did that just never got done. Like, it was just, we shot it, and then something else came up, and it just sort of got put on the back burner. And then this winter came, and we're like, we're gonna go back and get that film finished, you know, because it can get done quickly, and it's not a big film. But with the weather being so fucking shitty this year, it was just really hard to find time to do it. You know, in January we were supposed to work on it, and then you know, it was a snowstorm that weekend. Yeah, because normally we only work the second Saturday of the month. All of this has always been done one weekend a month, every single thing. You know, every once in a while we squeeze in a Sunday here or there, but
yeah,
everything is essentially done on Saturday. Any leftover shots are done on Sunday. I mean, everything from the very beginning to now. Because through Devin's work, he has union weekends, so he's guaranteed that one weekend off a month. So that's how we schedule everything. You know, all the Barfly lounges was done just on the second Saturday of the month. So there's not a lot extra time to like fix it. If it's not, you know, if you don't get it done that day, like, especially with Barfly Lounge, because we shot that in the wintertime and it was snowing, you know, and people were like, I'm not driving out there, you know, in a fucking snowstorm. You know, we just fuck everything over, because if you lose one episode, you gotta push it back a whole month later. And doing that is like, okay, you know, we want to be done by March, so when spring hits, we can go back out and start shooting films again. You know? So yeah, that was a really hard winter to do, and so we weren't sure, like, that's why we didn't do anything this winter. It was like, okay, let's try to get old stuff back together and everything. And so, yeah, I mean, 2016 to 17, I think, we did put out a film called Ubiquitous. It's a total 100% an art film that I did in a single week. Yeah, there might have been some LSD involved. It was basically a complete experiment, and then we just did shots and then went back and figured out how we would arrange them. And most people have no understanding of like what it is, but I can basically tell you, if you go and watch that film, it's a man dies and sees his entire life flashes before his eyes, from childhood to, you know, adulthood to like older age and everything like that, and finding like his passion in life and stuff like that. But he's speaking as he's passed away. All you're hearing is voices. So he's you hear his voice talking to another voice, and that voice is like a entity, I guess, you know, like, you know, I don't want to say like God or anything like that, but, you know, like, you know, something beyond death, you know, some sort of sentient, you know, being that he's speaking to, who is telling him the secrets of you know, life. And I don't know, I guess it's a really fucking pretentious film. I don't know, but yeah, it's that's about as art film as we've ever gotten, and really threw it together and then kind of figured out exactly what it was going to be, you know, and deal with life and death, and what you're supposed to be doing with life, and how you viewed your life after you pass away and stuff like that. So yeah, that we did show that at something at Rod Sox. I don't remember what it was. It might have been Jantopia maybe, but we showed it down there, and I used some film scores. Josh actually did not, Milky Way did not score that film. I used some other little films that I really liked and put those together to make it. But yeah, very, very small film, you know, nothing, it wasn't a big production or anything like that. I mean, didn't cost 25 cents to make it, you know. So after that film, this would be like guess this will still be 2017. We did Nihilist Nights. That's probably my favorite film that we made. Eric Murphy played the main role in that. Austin Stone is in it. A few other people. Hilary Hansen is in a couple scenes in it. Shake's in a couple of Ryan Lilly Shake. He's in a couple scenes in it. But yeah, again, another just art film. You gotta pick it up as it goes, sort of thing.
Right.
I mean, any film you watch of ours, you're not gonna get in the first scene. Like you have to put some thought into it and watch it to the end, and then probably still put some more thought into it. But essentially, it's about I don't even want to say because it's kind of gives away too much, but I'll just say it's a crisis a guy has. You'll understand if you watch it. You'll get it immediately what it's about, and that's my favorite film we've made. I really enjoy that film. I think it's one of the better ones we've made. I think it has like a good underlying theme to it. It's positive and stuff like that, and deals in like drug addiction and stuff like that. So. Nihilist Nights. If you want to watch a film, you don't want to pick one film to watch out of this, I would recommend Nihilist Nights would be the one you should go check out. I believe 2017, I'm pretty sure. Shortly after that, we did Sultry music video, Forgive Me.
Hell yeah.
Terrence is our guy, so we hopped on there, Terrence, and did that video for him for the Horizons EP. Shot that, just bounced around, partied it up, do that. We did a Kubrick music video. Nobody knows who that is. We did a music video there. We did a video for Earl Hem called Twerk du Soleil. It's a real cool video. He wasn't even there for that. He actually called me and asked me if I could get him a video done by the time the album was going to release in a few days. So I just banged it out, and he sent me the track and put it together that way. I actually really liked that video. I thought it turned out really well for being almost the last second, and it was just sort of artistic, video altogether. I did shoot a video as well called with Earl Hem featuring Milky Way called Walls. We shot that on July 4th night. I think I went over there at like 11 p.m. I went over there and we shot it through the night, edited it through the night, while simultaneously he was working on the album. So he had this computer, he's working on the album, this computer, the video's getting edited. It was all done sort of at one time. It was real cool. Just everybody's just busting out art all at one time, and just everyone collaborating. Hey, look at this. Hey, listen to this. Just kind of bouncing back and forth. So that was a good time. Just knocked that one out. That one you'll have to find on the Earl Hem YouTube. That's not on Mob Direct YouTube at all. But yeah, it's called Walls. So anyone wants to check that out, it's probably I'm sure it's on Facebook. So going into 2018. We did Motor Direct Investigates, and we're hoping to still do more. This is a mini series we did. Another one that no one really picked up on, watched too much of, but I think it's really funny. It's a mockumentary. We all play ourselves in it. We use our real names and play like exaggerated versions of ourselves. And the idea is to be like one of them shitty like Travel Channel sci-fi shows where we go look for paranormal sorts of things in each different series. We only had one series so far, but the first series was Bigfoot, so we go search for fucking Bigfoot, and it's like 4 episodes long. It's not real long or anything, but yeah, if you want actual comedy out of us, check that out. You can watch all of it on Facebook for sure. They all just right on there. You can just click them and watch them all one after another. But yeah, everybody in that was really, really funny. Austin Stone was hilarious in it. And yeah, it's funny for sure. I think everyone, if you want to watch something, just have a laugh, not think too hard about it like a lot of the other stuff. Mob Direct Investigates Season 1, Bigfoot. This winter we probably would have done Season 2, but I'm not sure. We didn't get to it, but I know a lot of people were asking for like aliens and stuff like that. So somewhere down the road, we'll probably almost for sure do another season of it. So that one was really fun. We had the Baby Jane music video, which I think is the best music video we made. Succubus. You can find that on Facebook. You can find that on our YouTube. You can find that on her YouTube. Yeah, check that out. It's a great song, and I think we did pretty well on the visual for it. And yeah, super stoked on it. I still really like that video. Every once in a while, I still check it out and watch it and see how it's holding up. And I'm like, yeah, I was really happy with this one. So yeah, kind of got like a weird horror movie sort of vibe to it or whatever, but not too over the top with it or anything, nothing corny or anything. So yeah, she's just incredible. Like I said, she's awesome. So she was in for everything. So like we pump blood all over her and stuff like that, and it gets to be a wild ass video. So yeah, check that one out. We did 2 more films. We did one called Blue Suitcase, took forever to come out. We premiered it in November of 2018. That was like really our first drama, I would say, where we didn't really try to make like too much like artistic, weird, mind-bending stuff. It was just a drama. Like, I mean, it was straight drama. And yeah, I mean, it's really different for us. We were, every film we do, we try to expand. We always try to do something different. So that was the one where it's like, let's try something really kind of normal. Nothing too crazy. Definitely kind of like on the sadder side of things. It's called Blue Suitcase. It means sad baggage. That's what the name means. So. That's what you'll figure out going into it. We shot it, actually, it might have even been shot in 2017. Took a long time for it to get finished up and come out. But, yeah, that's on YouTube. You can check that out. I think it's on Facebook. And then the last one we shot, I think you got Wayne on here. He discussed it, That Which Grows Wild. We shot in September and October 2018. Premiered it at the Supper Club in December 2018, and that one's a little bit of a drama too, but so I wrote it in 3 different like storylines, and then one storyline, Wayne, who's the main character, is a street kid, just lives on the streets. I think everyone knows what a street kid is, kind of a guy who couch hops and, begs for his meals kind of thing. And then he meets a girl who's played by Ollie Wilson, and they basically start dating, and then he sort of domesticates and is living with her. And then she gets pregnant, which freaks him out, so he leaves, and he's like living in the woods, like in a tent. He's like just kind of a drunk living in a tent. And but all 3 of those storylines, we just took all the scenes and just sort of threw them into a hat, picked them out almost. I mean, that's not what we did exactly. I mean, there's a little more planning to it than that. But if you watch it, there's a scene from the 3rd storyline, and then a scene from the 1st storyline, and a scene from the 2nd storyline, and yeah, it's kind of confusing on your first watch, but I think if you figure it out, you're like, oh wow, after Josh had seen it in Washington, he had told me he thought it was like actually a pretty brilliant story, the way to tell the story. So yeah, that's on Facebook. You can definitely just watch it on there. You don't have to go to YouTube or anything like that. Actually, I'm not even sure if it's on YouTube yet, but sometimes we wait a little bit after you put them on Facebook to put them on YouTube. But yeah, then that's it, man. That's everything. I know it's probably like an hour just blabbing about each film, but that's the whole history of it, one to the next to the next. And
yeah.
That's how we got in here, hitting Toontopias, Jantopias, film festivals, anywhere we can get in and show stuff. Like, we've done it. We tried to hop in, and I'll always doing music, open doing music videos. Anybody wants to do music videos, just get a hold of us. Like, we shoot music videos. Like, we're always down to shoot music videos. So
hell yeah.
Anyone that's listening, got a music video you need made, just hit us up on the Motive Direct Facebook, Motive Direct Pictures, and get hold of us. You know, we're on there doing that.
Oh yeah. So what do you think the future holds for Motive Direct? What's up next? What do you like? Where do you want this to take you? What do you think your future is like in film?
That's probably it. Yeah, this is probably it. This is all. I mean, we're always looking at like, okay, we're gonna make the move to this kind of gear and that kind of gear, and it's gonna move it up a little and stuff like that. But I mean, I said I had no desires to be famous or anything like that. Like, you know, if you could eat off of this, that would be best possible scenario. So, yeah, just continuing doing films, making stuff, you know, putting it out, you know. It's all I really want to do, put it out, and, you know, if you can show it locally and to 15 people, awesome, you know, that's cool. We're down to do that. We just got a projector and a PA and everything, a projection screen and everything, so we can actually show everything ourselves, so we don't have to rely on any venues any longer.
Hell yeah.
At least on a venue that has a projection screen and anything, we can just do it all ourselves now.
Nice.
So, yeah, if anyone's got, you know, a show they're putting on and want to show some films, you know, like, let us know. Like, we'll bring our stuff down and set it up. Anyone else out there has got a film, let us know. We'll set it up. It will definitely, for sure, lead us now into being able to do our own film festival and stuff like that. Because the hardest part is, you know, you're relying on someone else to show yourself with their equipment and gear and stuff like that. So, you know, we've gotten to do it only once. We've gotten to show with our own gear so far. So, we're still sort of learning everything, how to run all that and everything. You know, film isn't like everything else. It's usually kind of like a side thing to the rest of the event. So you don't usually get a lot of time to perfect what you're doing. You know, you don't get time to set your gear up and sound check it, you know. It's just kind of like expected to hurry up and get it on for the next band to set, you know. But that's just the way it is, you know. The film's a small thing right now. It's really overlooked compared to the music and stuff like that, and that's all fine. It's all cool, you know. I've done music, done all that stuff, so I know how it goes, you know. Film is totally new, you know, in terms of being able to do it on your own in the local scene and stuff like that. I'd love to meet more filmmakers that are doing stuff and want to put stuff on. Austin Stone has his own filmmaking entity. It's called Doorway Pictures. He's been showing films with us lately at the event, so he's just kind of getting his stuff really kicked off now, where he's shooting stuff more and more. But yeah, I mean, he's still always been a Motive Direct dude. A lot of stuff we do is, you know, with the Utopia Ugly banner, we do almost everything is some sort of Utopia Ugly artist is almost always involved. So, I mean, Eric was 100% involved for a long, long time. He's not so much now because, you know, he has a kid and stuff like that and has other priorities going on. But, you know, he's always there either way, you know, always welcome to step back in and work when he wants to. So, you know, like I said, music videos, anything like that, get a hold of us. We'll do it. We'll step in, you know.
Look, yeah.
We do have a film that we've been working on. I think we're going to shoot it second Saturday in March, I'm pretty sure. We've been working on it for about a month now.
This is your next current project right now?
Yeah, it's the current project right now. We had not shot anything since October, I think. So, because we showed a film in November, we showed a film in December, snowed out in January, and then the second weekend of this month, we actually worked on a little bit of the film, and we slacked a little on it this month, but we did get stuff worked out. So if anyone knows Megan Townsend, she's going to be the actress in it, and she's doing some of the writing on it. It's going to be an art film for sure. It's going to have basically a soundscape with just spoken word over top of it, and just a lot of visual imagery. That would be the shots, you know. Won't tell a story, I guess. Probably may be a part of the short series. We haven't put anything out for that in probably more than a year now, but might be a part of that series. It was just kind of get to a point where you burn out a little. I don't want to say like I'm not doing it, but you slow down finally after going so hard at it for a long time that it was kind of like slow down and when we go into work on something, we're gonna put everything into it and not try to just like knock it out because it's fun,
Right.
Like, let's get it right, stuff like that. So, but the film is called Bruxa, Bruxa, and yeah.
What does that name mean?
It means like vampire in Portuguese. And if you look at the Facebook translation, how it says translation on it, it actually says witch on it. So yeah, it's like kind of do with those subjects, I guess, in a way. Like I said, it's all sort of visual. So and I don't know. That's what it is. Like called Bruxa. It's gonna be straight art film, gonna have a lot to do with like sort of darker themes and things like that to do with it. Have much more of a music video feel, I guess, to it, but there won't be any music to it or whatever. So, but yeah, I've been working with these like soundscapes that are just like sort of like industrial sounds, so like railroad, tracks and trains and stuff like that, and putting those sounds together and layering them and playing with the sound to it to just make weird textures, I guess.
Right.
And then she'll just be writing something. She's been working on stuff, so that'll have to sort of do with the idea of a Bruxa, a vampire, but not so much like I'm a vampire. So like, what is a vampire? What does it do? Draining life and living forever and these sorts of things. So. Those are the themes that will be a part of it. So, I mean, we're still working on ideas. It's going to be a film that will almost for sure shoot the visuals for it and then go into editing and really sort of map out exactly, all of the ideas and put them into place and what works and where it goes. So sometimes that's the way you do a film. We attack them all differently. Every single one of them is a different way to do it. So at least we try, like that's
right.
what's fun for us. It's the films we like, so it's what we try to do,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Is that planned to be released this year, or is it still TBA?
Oh, that'll be out this year for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, as long as it gets shot next month, or even if it gets pushed back a month, it will be small enough that it'll definitely be out. I'm not sure where it'll be at this point. Maybe we'll try to get it into Ross talks. Maybe we'll just get a venue and show it ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There was some ideas of doing it at Supper Club originally, but there's stuff going on down there right now, so it's closed.
Right.
So I don't think it'll probably be at Supper Club at this point, but we cross that bridge when it comes. It's never.
Oh yeah.
For the last 2 years, I mean, everything we've done has shown, like somewhere. So now we've kind of got to that point where before we release it, we want to make sure like all the boxes are checked if we can show it or not show it, or where we can show it, or who's doing what, and if we can get on it and stuff like that. So
yeah.
And we've networked out enough now that it's much easier to get into a place, and people know us now and know that we do. I mean, you hit me up to do this, so I mean, it's like, people know that we're doing films, and
hopefully we can spread this word some more.
Yeah, I hope for the MOBCAST for sure, man.
Yeah, boy.
I love what you guys are doing.
Well, thank you, sir. Yeah,
it's cool, man. I'd love to come back later, and
definitely
do stuff with, bring Devin with and stuff like that.
Hell
so
yeah.
Not just me rambling on about it, but I mean, nobody's ever really asked us much about the history of what we've done or anything like that, how it started and all that stuff. So
yeah, I'm glad you came on to share, and I hope other people will listen and find it pretty interesting too.
Sure.
I'm sure everyone that has seen your films would be down to check it out. But
yeah,
man, look forward to what you guys do in the future and shit.
Yeah, I mean, anyone ever has questions about anything like that, feel free to hit us up. I mean, we're chill, laid back dudes, man. We don't, like I said, I'm not looking to be competition with anyone. You know,
Hollywood in this motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, get one out here and making their art, whatever they do, man. There's podcasting here. They're rapping, they're doing stand-up comedy, or they're playing in a band, or, you know, fucking whatever they're doing, making films, painting, you know, whatever. So I do a lot of stuff, too, on the side. Like, I play around with music always, you know. It's always, like, a good release of stuff, you know. Rarely put it out or anything like that and just work on it. I have been writing more. Like, I would love with sort of Amazon getting to the point with Kindle where you can do everything electronically. I've gotten interested in writing like novels and like being able to put them on Amazon for fucking $2 and, you know, whatever. I guess money's not like a overly motivating factor for me in most things that I do, so, you know, if I put it out and somebody reads it, cool, because I'm probably gonna write it either way. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna get written, so I might as well put it out there. Maybe
so you might as well fucking read it.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I've been working on like a trilogy of like novels for quite a while. You know, they're all like, I think I got two of them. Two of the three are completely outlined out, and one has been like actually I've been writing on, stuff like that. But, you know, it's just stuff you do. You know, you do stuff, and then sometimes you get unmotivated to do it or whatever, and you sort of bow out for a little bit, and then, you know, something sparks that again, you jump right back on it, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, now I know what I want to do with this, you know. So I read a lot, though. I read like a lot, like 1960s, 70s, 80s. Philip K. Dick is like I'm a big fan of, and I think he very much is represented in the films that we make, you know, for sure, you know. There's art films, Philip K. Dick, and David Lynch for sure is a big influence on us. I like to say Stanley Kubrick's an influence on us, but we just don't even fucking scratch the surface of that man, dude. He's brilliant, dude. So, yeah, a lot of different filmmakers for sure. Like a whole gang of them that we watch. I think there's films sort of getting into a territory where it's sort of like dying out, I think, a little bit as a medium, but I think there's so many great filmmakers out right now, like that people aren't really paying much attention to. They're doing awesome stuff, like really interesting things. Denis Villeneuve, who made Arrival, was one of his. He made Blade Runner 2049. All popping in my head right now, but yeah, he's a really, really good filmmaker right now. I think he's one of the best filmmakers out right now. Darren Aronofsky is still putting out great films. His last one, Mother, is a fucking with Jennifer Lawrence. Total fucking mind fuck. I still go to the movie theater to see everything. Like, basically anytime a filmmaker I really enjoy is putting something out, you know, I'm on it. You know, fucking down at the theater to see it. Like, it's pretty much what me and my wife get for Christmas every year is like hundreds of dollars worth of movie vouchers or whatever. So
nice.
We hit up as many movies as I can. You know, I'm always following these filmmakers and seeing what they're doing, and interested to see what they're doing with their new projects. And so, yeah, checking everybody out all the time. So, but yeah, it seems like, you know, it's the way technology goes and stuff like that. You know, people would rather watch 7-second videos on Instagram or, you know, things like that. You know, they're not really interested in, you know, feature-length films. You know, they'd rather watch the 23-minute TV show on Netflix or something, you know, easier, more digestible things for them, you know. And of course, like all avant-garde art always since the beginning of its time is, you know, not at the forefront of anything, you know. It's just kind of like, yeah, you know, always the word pretentious is always used on. It's pretentious. It's like, because it's interesting. And it's like interesting, so it's pretentious. It's fucking with ideas that nobody fucks with, so it's pretentious. Yeah,
you guys you could just do a bunch of series now and pitch that shit on Netflix.
Yeah. That'd be awesome to get into
to get the more high-tech gear, I guess. You know, I think we're a little overdue to move up on the cameras. One thing with the cameras is, like with any piece of technology, the second you get it, it's already outdated.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I mean, eventually down the road, I would love to move up to get, I mean, there's,
get a red camera or something.
Oh, yeah, I just gotta hit the lottery first.
Yeah, right. Fucking 50 grand at least or some shit.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling bought one and shot his own film. It must be nice to buy red and just own it. Actually, the movie that I made, it's called Lost River. It's actually a really good movie. It's fucking really interesting, and like you wouldn't imagine for a second that Ryan Gosling made this like wild ass art film, but yeah, it's really good. But yeah, there was the cameras like the Mark IIs and the Mark IIIs that are starting to drop down in price now. I mean, they were using them to shoot scenes in fucking the Avenger movies, so. I mean, they're not shot fully with those, but they're used as like B and C cameras and stuff like that. So, I mean, those are the cameras we'd like to get moved up into before they're completely outdated, you know. So, it just depends on where we're all at, money-wise and stuff like that. So,
hell yeah.
And where the crew's at, how many people, you know, it can always vary from every year is a different amount of people and a different group of people. So. Like I said, sometimes people come back, sometimes they don't. So, getting into just shooting that one right thing, you know, that might strike somebody, and you know, maybe somebody will give us some money to do something, you know. So, and if they don't, fuck it, we're gonna do it anyways. Anyway, so it's not a big deal to us. So.
Hell yeah. I think it's pretty amazing what you guys have done over the years. Like how you said it basically started, well, just you.
Yeah.
And then, because just especially like from getting older, like you said, oh, when you're 17, oh, it's easy just to get together and all do whatever, do the shit. But then, as you get older, it's just hard to even like hang out with people anymore. Yeah. It's crazy that you've able to start with you and then just grow this dope team of people that's willing to like jump in and all on this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it's fucking
everyone's just having those skills. Everybody has their own thing that they can do that I can't, you know, like, you know, I used to build websites when I was like 9 years old. I was already like could build a website. Now I can fucking begin to build a website right now. I'm so rusty on that stuff. I'm super disconnected from technology and stuff like that. Like I'm not really into it at all, you know, like, so.
And yeah, and just going down this whole wormhole of like learning, you know, like just self-taught DIY. I know how that is, you know.
For sure.
It's just a huge fucking rabbit hole of just learning all this shit, and then just trying to accumulate all the gear over the years. Like I know what that shit's like.
Yeah, it's lucky enough to have, you know, at least like my brothers put in a lot on gear, and Devin's probably putting more on gear at this point than I have, you know. So, you know, everyone just like having that faith in each other, and all of us knowing each other. At least the most core people, the people that are gonna put their money in, you're not gonna have to worry about them running off and stealing the shit or anything. I mean,
and if they do, it's like, well, I'm just gonna keep this gear, you know. You can't have it. I mean, property of Motive Direct now. It doesn't belong to any of us.
Me and Devin own the camera together, and then me and my wife own the camera together, and I mean, so it's like really out. Like, I mean, me and him are such close friends at this point that it was over to a point where, like, we don't want to do this anymore. I don't have time to do this anymore. You know, like, okay, me and my wife got a camera, you take the other one. You know,
sure, yeah.
You know, I own half of it, you can have it. You know, just oh shit. It's because we're, you know, like friends like that to that point. You know,
right.
Never really worried about things like that. It's never come up. You know, I mean, the gear is 99% of the time is at my house. You know, like. I mean, he'll come grab, hey, man, I'm going to, you know, they are photography cameras. So, you know, hey, I'm going to grab the cameras and go take pictures and stuff like that. Cool. You know, comes by, grabs it. And my wife has a thing, her own picture thing called Motive Direct Photography. So Motive Direct Pictures is filmmaking, and Motive Direct Photography, which is like mostly all my wife. Devin does do stuff in that too as well. And it's just like your normal sort of photography, you know, not your weird, like if I couldn't do it because I can't get a family together and like smile, you know, something like that. I'd be like, you put a noose around your head and fucking, you know, put blood all over your face and then, you know, that kind of weird thing or something. But, I mean, she goes out and does pictures with that, and then, you know, Devin will come over and be like, I need to grab the camera, and him and my wife will huddle up and say, you know, do you got pictures to take? And she'll be like, yeah, I got some pictures to do. Okay, what lenses do you want? I'll take the other lenses. So, you know, when you don't have those egos in there and stuff like that, everybody just works together with stuff, you know, and that's how it's lasted this long. Is, you know, anytime there's ever been like any sort of drama that somebody's tried to like bring into the situation, and it just sort of gets shut down real fucking fast, and it's like, no, I'm not doing this.
You got it.
Like, I'm too fucking old to do this.
Yeah,
know?
right.
Not gonna sit here and argue over little petty shit or whatever. If you want to be here, be here. If you don't want to be here, it's fine. No hard feelings, you know. If you want to come back in 6 months, say, I do want to do this. Come on back. You know, like, it's all good anytime, whenever. So that's how it's gone, man. So
fuck yeah. QC DIY motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right here.
I always tell anyone, man, that fucking feel lost or don't have, you know, don't feel like they're motivated to do shit or stuck in a rut or whatever. It's like, do art, you know. It doesn't take any money to get a pencil and a piece of paper and draw, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it does for me because I suck. But everyone else, you know, you can just draw. You can do whatever. You can fucking write a book in a notebook, and, you know, you can write poems. You can fucking do all sorts of things that don't cost literally any fucking money. If you got money, you can do even more things. You know what I mean? You don't have to have a lot of money. Just enough money to get this piece of gear, that piece of gear, and, you know, you can do stuff. You know, you can do. I mean, there's lots of photographers around here who just do amazing shit, you know, so I couldn't even begin to do, you know. I'm like, whoa, you know, look at this guy's pictures right here, you know, really good, you know, so. And the bands, the rappers, you know, MCs, whatever you want to call them, you know, awesome. So much good stuff, you know, so much good stuff. And, you know, a lot of people kind of shit on you if you're trying to follow your dreams, no real, you know, 10-year plan in place. You know, this is how I'm gonna be a millionaire by this plan or whatever. It's like, it's not always about that, you know. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't have no sanity if I just went to work every day and went home. You know, some people can do that shit, but
I could not imagine.
I cannot do it. You know,
right?
It just sucks the life out of me so fast. I gotta be doing something, anything, you know. So that's jump into something. You know, you're podcasting right now, dude. Like, fucking jump in. That's what I'm doing on my podcast. Yeah, awesome, dude. Like, cool. I said I was super interested in podcasts. So the second you're like, you want to come do this? I was like, yes. Yeah, I would love to come do this. Like, cool, man. Like, anything you ever need, dude, just ask me, man. I'll fucking try to help you out with anything. If you're fucking around looking at cameras or anything and need some advice, dude, let me know, man. I got quite a bit of experience with it at this point. So, bought a few, sold a few at this point. So.
Yes. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, I love what you guys are doing. I hope you guys keep it up for sure.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, we're gonna do it for as long as we can do it until we all get bored of doing it. You know, we'll be doing it. So,
hell yeah,
you know, this is fucking at least 15 years in the making of wanting to do it, and, you know, probably 20 some years in the making of like it being a dream, you know. I would love to, you know, film's cool, you know, I like to watch movies, you know, that kind of thing, and studying it, and, you know, not even when I was a kid, you know, not even really like actively thinking about how I was studying it, you know what I mean? I just was watching it, but you're picking up so much stuff, you know, that when it comes time to actually learn the things, you know, you already understand like the 360-degree rules and stuff like that because you've been watching them in movies your entire life,
right?
You know, movie formulas were, you know, the basic movie formulas were made in the 1920s. We still use them to today, you know. So once you understand that, oh, that's the proper term for something I've seen a million times, literally, you know. So, you know, not a big deal, you know. It's like not all that hard, not as hard as people make it out to be, you know. The real thing, you know, beyond getting the equipment and stuff is you know, learning cinematography really well to make your stuff stick out, you know, to make it look more professional, you know. Understanding, trying to get through walls and ceiling in every shot, you know, understanding that sort of stuff, understanding symmetry in a shot, you know, and you know, when you don't have money, you know, when you can, you know, you're not building a set where you're building your symmetry and your lighting and stuff like that, you're aesthetic, you know, like you don't have that money, that you got to find it naturally, you know, you got to find it where it exists and stuff. So, and shots in Blue Suitcase, we shot in a hotel. I mean, the whole basis of that film started around my desire to shoot in a hotel. Like, what do you want to shoot in a hotel for? And I was like, I love the symmetry of a hotel hallway. You know, it's like, I always got that weird carpet, and then, you know, a light, you know, every so amount of distance from one to the next, and then the doors every so amount of distance. I mean, so that whole film was based off that single shot. It was like, you know, we'll build a whole story around some idea that someone needs to be in a hotel room. And everything we do is guerrilla, you know, we don't fucking never ask. You know,
right.
We just go in and try first before we ever ask. So
right.
We just went in and fucking, I mean, we got a dolly, drug it out, set it up in the fucking hallway of I can't even think of what fucking hotel we were in. We were in Zoomers or something. I don't know. We were in a hotel like that. I don't know why I can't remember, but yeah, we just fucking set this dolly up and just put the camera on. We're just shooting those fucking shots right there in this fucking hotel hallway, like. Anyone could have walked out of the room and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
You probably just think it's like legit. I guess I got a permit or whatever.
Yeah. You know, there's, you know, it's cameras out there. Some hotel staff come running up. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing up here? You know, and we're literally walking in, like 8 of us carrying fucking PVC pipes and all this stuff, set up gear in there, you know, bags and everything. And it was like, what the fuck are they doing over there? You know, like, and, you know. Especially with, like, holding the camera gear in the hotel room is, like, almost for sure. It looks like you're shooting a porno in there, you know, for sure. Yeah. Like, what the hell's going on over there? They got all these cameras out, and there's all these people in there.
That's probably what they must have thought. Yeah, it's just a porno. It's all right. They'll stay in the room. Like, oh, they're in the hallway. Excuse me, sir. You can't be out.
We've gotten some offers to do some pornos, but no, I wasn't interested. You know, Devin was more interested than I was. I was like, nah.
Hey, you can do that with what, doorway pictures or whatever it is?
No, that's Austin stuff.
Oh, okay,
doorway pictures, yeah. No, I was like, nah, I don't want to do no porno. It was this whole fucking idea too. I don't even want to say it because I don't know if the guy still wanted to shoot it sometime. I don't know if somebody's stealing it, but it was fucking disgusting. And I was like, no.
Avant-garde porno.
And I was like, dude, I want some money, man. I want money to do this, like real money. Like, I don't want like $1,000. Like, come on, be reasonable. I'm being reasonable. Fucking $1,000. Come on, what the hell are you talking about?
Hell yeah. Well, for those who are listening, where can they find out more Motive Direct pictures? Where can they go see your shit?
The Facebook's probably the number 1 spot to get any information at. It's gonna go there first. So I think it's facebook.com/MoveDirect or facebook.com/MoveDirect Pictures. 1 to 2. Well, I mean, you can search it in the fucking bar. It's gonna pop right up. So.
And you got the actual website too.
Yeah, then we have motivedirect.net, which my brother runs, and it's not updated regularly in the sense that it's like news on there. It's updated that all the films are on there. Every single film is on there, so you can just go there and find it. Or you can YouTube it and just search Direct Pictures, and it'll pop right up. And I mean, I think 95% of everything we shot is on there for sure.
Yeah, so YouTube, you guys on Instagram too and shit?
Yeah, we're on Instagram and Twitter. I don't know.
Just for appearances.
Fucking search that shit. I don't run any of it. Like I said, I'm not big into social media. It's weird. I find people that are super into that shit fucking weird. Instagram influencers and shit like that. That's what I'm saying, going back to just the film thing, you know, like, people really aren't into films, not into reading books, and, you know, they're hardly into music anymore, you know, they're into singles, you know, that's it, you know, like, but for some reason they're super stoked on people who just take pictures and put them on Instagram. That's it. That's the whole reason a person's famous and making money, like, a picture of themselves. Like, what the fuck is this? It's like the new magazine, fucking, I guess, or something.
Strange times, man.
It is fucking weird to me. So I mean, I'm just getting fucking old. I don't know, but
we're all dying now.
I don't know. I think you'll see a lot of stuff if you watch our films. You'll see like I don't know, our pessimism and a lot of stuff, and a lot of reality and a lot of stuff, you know, drug abuse and stuff like that. All of us knowing people that drug addicts and have died from drugs and stuff like that, and you know, death in general, you know, different, not just drug related deaths, but just deaths, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, you know, you see that in a lot of our films, you know. The Barfly Lounge series is completely based on alcoholism, and, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all sort of, you know, covered in a way that, you know, it's like, you know, we kind of, it's not just sticking out in your face like we're preaching to you or anything, you know, but, you know, we're trying to build a story that's somewhat entertaining or interesting, at least, at the very least. But, you know, at the root of it, you know, if you're really paying attention, it's like, oh yeah, this is about fucked up people, right? you know, people are having issues and problems, and, you know, I think we all sort of grew up in families like that, or, you know, even not even direct families, but, you know, you get older and you move out and go experience the world and the type of people you start meeting and stuff like that, you know. It's like, it's not so pretty all the time, you know. So that's how, you know, you're sitting on fucking Instagram and it's all like pretty looking, you know. It's like, it's not all like this.
Right.
A lot of other shit going on out here, so
Definitely.
but yeah, I hope some people go check it out. If you don't, man. Sorry I rambled on for so fucking long, dude.
Loved it. It's the fucking weekend, so get on over there. Motive Direct, YouTube, Facebook, website, anything. Fucking binge watch this shit now. You don't need Netflix to binge watch anything. Go to fucking Motive Direct. We got it all here for you. Fucking short films, long films, web series, music videos, whatever the fuck you want.
Everything's on there. Couple outtake reels are stuck in there somewhere.
Goddamn. There you go.
Binge watch MOBCAST shit. Man, doing fucking dope shit over
here. Thank you, sir.
Like,
MOBQC, motherfucker.
I got all this fucking bullshit out of here, so I don't ever need to come back and talk about this. So you want us to come back on anytime, dude? We're in, man.
Well, definitely, sir.
Get Devin over here, and we can just bullshit more on, you know, whatever art in general, dude. And I gotta go through 3 hours of filmography or anything like that. So.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking the time to come hang and fucking indulge us with all your filmography and all that.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Hell yeah.
I love to. It's my first opportunity, like I said, the first opportunity I've ever had to fucking sit down and talk about it and tell people how it started and where it came from and, you know, all that stuff. So if they do watch our stuff, or people that have been watching our stuff for a long time, you know, I think a better understanding of how it's all evolved, you know, from fucking a single fucking camera with a kit lens and no sounds, to where it is now, where we have a backpack that's so full you can barely wear it on your back, and, you know, everyone's carrying 9 bags out with them of gear now. So yeah, it's been a fun ride, man. I hope to keep it going. I hope people keep watching it. I hope people keep inviting us to come do stuff. I hope people keep hitting us up to do work for them, you know. So anyone that's doing art, doing music videos, if you fucking write screenplays and have no outlet for it.
If you're fucking trying to act or some shit.
Act for sure. Yeah, always looking for actors. Always looking for actors. Damn. Almost nobody in our stuff. I shouldn't say almost nobody. Some people are very well versed in acting and have experience in acting. There's a lot of people that have never acted there in their life and just do it, you know. Like, all right, just jump into it, you know. So doesn't matter how much experience you have. If you are an actor, it's hard to find stuff to get into and everything, you know. Our shit's weird, I don't tell you that out front, but, you know, we make art films, you know, but
it's definitely fun.
Yeah, it's
fucking fun. Do it. You heard it here first, motherfuckers.
Cody's been there. Cody knows, man.
Yeah, take it from me. It was a great time. Very hospitable.
I hope so. I hope so.
Super fun. Yes. Well, thank you again, my man.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah. Until next time, motherfuckers.
I'll be tuning in, bro.
Bye-bye.